Francisco 49ers.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Candlestick Park outside of San Francisco, California. I'm Tom Brookshire along with Johnny Morris. Johnny, they're about ready to kick off. The Bears have to kick off. But what about the San Francisco offense? Is it going to be tough?
I think they will be tough. Joe Montana has come into his own. Bill Walsh likes to throw the ball. I expect the 49ers to score because the Bears are a little bit banged up on defense. And conversely, on the other side, I figure the Bears to score some points because San Francisco hasn't been all that tough on defense. We might have a high-scoring game.
All right, San Francisco won the toss. Thomas, with his leg apparently healed. He was booting field goals and kickoffs as energetically as ever. Will kick off. Back deep for San Francisco is Ronnie Lott, the All-American #1 draft out of USC. It's Lott. Hit hard and drilled at about the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 now on the infield. This is real grass they put back into Candlestick Park. They used to have a carpet. And they're on the base. But here's the offensive lineup now for the 49ers. Joe Montana, the Irish quarterback. Ricky Patton, who's bounced around, but he's the tailback. Earl Cooper, who caught 83 passes a year ago. Dwight Clark. And, of course, as we said, Solomon. Audick, Ayers, Quillen, Cross, and Fawnhorst, and Charlie Young, the veteran, is at tight end. Here's the first down call. Montana back on play action. They throw a lot. Going to the outside. It's complete, then dropped. Is that a fumble? It's called, and no good, as Terry Schmidt came up with the football. Intended for Clark, the young man out of Clemson. Here's the Bears defense, Johnny Morris. Will there be some changes today?
Well, Dan Hampton may move into Alan Page's spot at the defensive tackle spot because Alan Page has had the flu all week and is not at 100%. Otis Wilson, Lee Kuntz, and Gary Campbell at the linebacker spot. Campbell's playing with a sore knee. There's Schmidt, Henderson, Pensick, and Walter Scheid in the defensive backfield.
2nd down and 10. The ball on the 29. Montana, man in motion, coming by Solomon. Strong side left. Bears with a 4-man rush. Solomon quickly throws a juggler. It's knocked away by the linebacker. Ricky Patton was the intended receiver, and number 59 got his hand up in there. Gary Campbell, who wasn't maybe supposed to play. Campbell has a strained knee, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, but he likes to play football, and he wanted to play in that. We are seeing a tempo already as the 49ers and Joe Montana came out throwing on the first 2 plays of the game. They feel they really didn't throw the ball enough against Detroit last week because they are a throwing offense. San Francisco threw 597 passes last year.
And they were number 3 in effectiveness in the National Football Conference. Here's Montana, his 3rd pass and the 3rd down from the 29. Charlie Young goes in motion outside the tight end. Good drop, a lot of time. Good looking pass. Almost intercepted by Reuben Henderson, number 20. Pretty good looking throw, but Reuben was in good shape.
He smelled that play coming all the way. Reuben Henderson, who has stepped in there as a rookie corner, has done a fantastic job for the Chicago Bears, who shut San Francisco down on this first series. They did not move 1 inch as they're going to be forced to punt with the barefoot man.
Jimmy Miller from Ole Miss in his 2nd year. He did not have a good punting game last week against Detroit, but he's standing on grass, and that must tickle your arch a little bit. There's Jeff Fisher back there for the Bears, the rookie. Pretty good hang time. Looks like the breeze is holding it up a little bit. Fair catch by Fisher at the 34-yard line, and the Bears get their first offensive shot. 3 passes and a punt by San Francisco. Here'll be that Bear offensive team. Evans, the quarterback, and as we said, against a 3 out of 4 rookie defensive backfield, he ought to play well today. Walter Payton, Suey, the Penn Stater, is in there as Harper now is somewhat injured.
He has a pulled hamstring. As you look at the Bears' offensive line, really no changes from last week.
Robin Earl, though, is at tight end, number 81. Baschnagel goes in motion. Handoff to Walter Payton. To the 37, Jack Reynolds, the former Los Angeles Ram, and I believe Board, the defensive end, helped on the tackle. The defensive lineup for San Francisco. Pillars, who's in for Stuckey, who's got a sprained ankle. Reese and Dwayne Board, they play a 34. Willie Harper Buns, Jack Reynolds, the former Ram, and Keena Turner out of Purdue. And here is the rookie-dominated backfield. Lott, Williamson, Hicks, and Eric Wright. Hicks is the only veteran in there.
And he's only a 2nd-year veteran.
Out of Michigan. 2nd down, and call it 7 yards to go. Suey dropped by number 58. That's Keena Turner for a loss back to the 35-yard line.
Keena Turner, who was a defensive end in college, he's from CVS High School, Chicago Vocational in Chicago, and he knifed through there and got that play before it even got started. Keena Turner, number 58 for San Francisco. So the Bears are now into a passing situation, 3rd and 9. And they started slow last week, as you know, Tom, they did not move the ball very well in the first half, and that's what really cost them the ball game.
All right, Ricky Watts comes out to the right. Williams is in the backfield with Payton. Got 3 wide receivers. Baschnagel to the top. Over it and through Walter Payton's hands at the 40-yard line. Pretty well defended there by number 29. That's Eric Wright, the rookie out of Missouri. And no blood now for the Chicago Bears on their first offensive series.
Well, that pass wasn't the best. It was a little bit high, and Payton was pretty exposed there. You got to get that ball to Payton a little sooner so he can turn around and face the defender. That time he's up there, and boy, you can get yourself smashed up.
Parsons standing back on about the 20-yard line. The deep men are Lott and Mike Wilson back there. Parsons had a good punting day, a great punting day. He waits for the coverage and kicks it a good hanging punt. That's Dwight Hicks. Hicks takes it and gets to the 35-yard line and is inhaled by Alan Harris. 2 punts and no first downs after the first series. We'll be back in just a moment at Candlestick. What a day on the bay. About 64 degrees, a slight breeze blowing in the 49ers' face. That first punt by Miller was 37 yards and fluttered somewhat. Neil Armstrong and the Chicago Bears needing their first victory of 1981. Linville Elliott now is in the backfield, along with Earl Cooper. Elliott goes in motion. That's Montana, the quarterback, on the 35. Draw play. Cooper gets out over the 35 for a yard or so. Bruce Herod made the tackle. This broadcast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the written consent of the San Francisco 49ers and the NFL is strictly prohibited. 2nd down and 8. On the 37, man in motion. Linville Elliott, turn-in pass by Montana. Dwight Clark takes it at the midfield stripe. Walterside makes the tackle. Clark is a very deceptive receiver.
And what a nice play, because Linville Elliott, the man in motion here, took the linebacker, Gary Kemble, out of the zone here, and as Hicks came right in, I should say Clark came right in, there were no linebackers, nobody in the way. It was like duck soup, down and turn in, a nice lane for Montana to throw the ball for the first down.
And Clark is not the deep receiver, but he catches a lot of them, like we said, 82 last year out of Clemson. Here it is now, 1st and 10 right on the 50-yard line. Man in motion. That's Elliott. Montana back to throw again. Rifles at the deep sideline. That's Solomon. Freddie Solomon with the ball dancing. And at the 32-yard line, Lee Coons, the linebacker, trying to get in on the play, a 19-yard strike.
And did you notice how Montana stepped forward in the pocket? He has a great feel of the pocket. He's running out of the shotgun here, goes out on a partial rollout, and then comes forward as the pocket develops around him and fires the strike over to the sidelines to Solomon, who was wide open. 1st down, San Francisco. Let's take a look at Freddie Solomon. He caught 8 balls last week down the field. Fensick, he's got him short, takes the short man, and then he's got deep help, but the pattern was perfect, wasn't it?
And it's a great throw, a tough velocity throw on the deep sidelines. 1st and 10 now on the 31. San Francisco moving a little bit. The handoff to Cooper, and he's thrown for a loss. The Bears really came up on the running play. Osborne making first contact, along with Otis Wilson, the left linebacker.
And the other man that was instrumental in that was Gary Campbell, number 59. He came across the line of scrimmage and beat the block by Patton and forced to turn it inside to where there was a lot of pursuit.
And John, when your offensive line is blocking pass most of the time, it's very hard to get them into a running syndrome. Isn't it very hard to come back now and suddenly start rushing the football?
Well, I don't know. You throw the pass set up to run.
Well, that's true. One of our old theories. All right, 2nd down and 12. Montana being chased out of the pocket by Wilson on the blitz. Sideline pass caught by Earl Cooper, number 49. Coons in on the tackle along with Gary Fensick.
Well, the 49ers need a big game out of Earl Cooper, who did not have a real good beginning last week. He had a couple of fumbles and did not play a good game, according to Coach Bill Walsh. And if you look at the tapes, he didn't do too well. But he had a great season last year, and he's a good football player. He just got to get it together.
He better have a good game for his own hide. I understand Coach Bill Walsh is thinking about putting him on the road if he didn't play well. That's a pretty good threat. The good coach that used to be with Cincinnati, San Diego, Stanford, and now he's here in San Francisco. Third down and 10. Outside to Solomon, and it's going to be close on the measurement. Reuben Henderson made the tackle. Freddie Solomon's getting up slowly like maybe he just wants to measure. It's going to be awfully close. Turn-in pattern. He's got good speed, too, John.
Yes, he has. Did you notice how quickly Montana got that ball to him? Boy, zing, boom.
4th and a yard on the 22. And Matt Barr, the young man from Penn State who used to kick at Pittsburgh and was waived earlier and just picked up this week, will try it from the 29-yard line, a 39-yard field goal attempt. Montana holding. Strong enough. To the left. Pulled it left. A few boos, but a good strong kick. And Barr's only been in town long enough to get a good spaghetti dinner. No score in the first quarter, Chicago, San Francisco. Head coach Neil Armstrong on the right in the orange sweater, and Ted Marshall-Broda, the offensive strategist and the coordinator on his right. Remember, Vince Evans is supposed to be calling his own plays. Now Marjoram goes out. The young rookie was in. And Brian Baschnagel is back in on first down. Ricky Watts to the bottom, Baschnagel to the top of your screen. 1st and 10 on the 22 for Chicago. Handoff to Walter Payton running left. Good penetration by the safety man. And Payton runs out of room. Dan Bunz comes up, number 57. Eric Wright came up and forced it very early, and so did Williamson.
Yeah, Carlton Williamson came across the line of scrimmage and jammed up the guard. You're going to watch him jam up Reevy Sorey there, the pulling guard, and Noah Jackson, which forced Payton to go deeper. And finally, it was Eric Reich who kept him inside, and Dan Bunz on the tackle. So the 49ers are aggressive on those end runs.
Walter Payton had, 162 yards rushing a year ago against this team, but so far not much. He picked up 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 on the 26. Handoff to Payton. Good penetration again. Payton cutting back, and now being rushed to the ground. Number 58, Tina Turner making the tackle.
And Archie Reese, number 78. He was like a sport coat for Noah Jackson, 65, the pulling guard. Reese came right across the line of scrimmage. You're going to see 65 right there, and there's Archie Reese right there just shoving everything back. And that was what really broke the play as Payton tried to make something out of it here as everybody's dashing around there. But finally, Keena Turner makes the tackle, and there's some help by Dwayne Board. Gang tackling by the 49ers.
The 34 defense is only good if you attack from it, and that's what San Francisco did. All right, 3rd down. Last week, only good for 33%. That's what Evans was. 3rd down and almost 10 yards. Going left side, overthrows Baschnagel at the 40-yard line, and overthrew him by a mile. Wyatt Hicks was there, but Baschnagel was open.
Well, that's a couple of passes now that Vince Evans has thrown high, so he's got to bring, what do you call it when you set your sights, and he's got to bring his sights down.
He's got to get range, 0-0.
That's right. Okay.
Parsons. Parsons will stand back on about the 9-yard line. Freddie Solomon is deep, along with Wyatt Hicks, who ran back some good punts last week against Detroit. Here's Parsons, a solid kicker. Oh, he gets it tremendously. Good hang time. This is Solomon at the 32, dancing and prancing. Back to the 30 and dropped there. Good play by number 25, covering the kick. I think that's Todd Bell, the rookie from Ohio State, making the tackle. A lot of good punting, a lot of throwing, and not many completions yet. No score in the first period. 49ers ball on their own 30-yard line. Darn near at second base here at Candlestick Park. Tom Brookshire with Johnny Morris. On a delightful day, but these two high-powered offenses haven't generated much. Montana, 4 of 7 for 43 yards. Here comes Solomon in motion. Handoff going the other way. That's Ricky Patton wearing O.J. Simpson's number and gets out to almost the 35-yard line. Otis Wilson making the tackle.
Ricky Patton, a Jackson State graduate. He is a cousin of Walter Payton, and when you give Ricky Patton some running room, he looks a little bit like Walter Payton. He's got that burst of speed.
He doesn't look like O.J. Simpson.
No.
Ricky has a little trouble fumbling the football. Last week he had a good rushing game, 72 yards on 15 against Detroit. And he has bounced around and found a home in San Francisco at the tailback spot. Second down, call it 6 on the 34. Man in motion is Solomon coming to the bottom of your screen. Montana back to throw. Swings the backs out, looks across the middle, finds Clark. Gets away from the tackle. Almost to midfield, and of course a first down. Gary Fensick making the stop, but I can't see who he broke the tackle on. Maybe Gary Campbell.
No, it was Otis Wilson, 55. As you're going to see Clark go down the field and then just turn in, and here comes Otis Wilson, I believe it is, for to attempt on the tackle. It looked like he was going for the gopher holes on that one. Otis got to keep his head up, but Otis will be around the ball before this day is over.
Clark is a tremendous under receiver. He did just that coming under the pattern. First down now on the 49-yard line. San Francisco still in their own territory. High formation handoff to Ricky Patton. Going outside, makes a bare miss it, and gets down to the 43.5-yard line. Couple of bad tackles. Bruce Herron making the stop finally.
That time they put a little finesse on Dan Hampton. He ran right by the ball carrier. The ball carrier was going one way and Hampton was coming the other way. They got around the horn, and that was why Patton was able to get a little bit of yardage. The San Francisco team, Joe Montana, is really taking over the leadership of the team, and a lot of it was when they traded DeBerg. DeBerg was a forceful type of quarterback, and he was kind of laying back. He was a second-string quarterback, and DeBerg, when they traded him, then Montana came to the fore.
Here it is on second short. Earl Cooper being run out of bounds. Just about the 45-yard line. Walter Scheid making the quick move on defense. Cooper is big out of Rice. Last year, their top draft choice. Had a tremendous year catching and rushing for total yardage of like 1,200, 1,300 yards, but he does not run like a fullback. He didn't cut it back and try to get the first down then.
As you take a look at the Bears defense, they're playing this game on a prescription grass. You know that, Tom?
Yes.
They can water it from underneath, and it's not supposed to wear out.
I thought you meant you went down to a drugstore on your doctor's orders or something. All right, third and short yardage. A tight wingback formation for San Francisco. Fake pass, ball on the outside. There's Freddie Solomon. Solomon now having to be cornered by Schmidt. He gets down to the 30-yard line. Good-looking play.
It certainly was. Solomon was the only man down the field. And Terry Schmidt had to come over and make the tackle, but good action by the 49ers of Solomon. As you see him up there on the wing, goes into motion. Now watch the play action of the pass, and there is nobody to cover Solomon. He has 6 or 7 yards between he and Terry Schmidt before they can finally knock him out of bounds. Good play.
Solomon now has 6 catches for 69 yards. First and 10 on the 31. Montana with a deep drop this time. Still going down the middle. It's blocked by Ricky Patton. I don't see a flag. It looks like a touchdown. Montana with a deep drop, really loaded it up, and he just overthrew a couple of Bear defenders in that nickel defense, and Ricky Patton does look like O.J. suddenly.
And Ricky Patton gave the ball to one of his linemen, Randy Cross, to spike the ball. But notice Montana as he'll go forward into the pocket, find the feel of it, and then throw it downfield. He got enough zip on it as his back, Patton, got all the way down the field. Gary Fensick just missed the swipe of the ball, and then Patton will give it to Randy Cross, who gets to spike it.
Matt Barr with Montana holding. It is good as gold, as they say out in San Francisco land. And so San Francisco gets on the board in their own stadium, the home opener. San Francisco 7, Chicago nothing. Ricky Patton with his big catch for the touchdown. Boy, what a touchdown.
And we may see key to the 49er offense. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Short kick.
Short kick by Barr. Williams at the 22 breaks out over the 40-yard line. Matt Barr did not get a deep kickoff, plus against the wind. Williamson makes the tackle, the defensive back covering. Good field position for the Bears. CBS Sports Saturday brings you great racing action. Pleasant Colony is expected to continue the quest for a Horse of the Year honors at the Marlboro Cup. You'll all see the World Individual Speedway Motorcycle Championship from London, England, 4:30 Central and 3:30 Pacific on CBS Sports Saturday. First down and 10 on the 40-yard line. Evans calling. Play action pass. Going across the middle, it's Robin Earl making the catch at the 44 and drags people down to the 36-yard line. Dwight Hicks was going for a ride.
Boy, was he wide open. Of course, anytime a Bear tight end gets downfield, he ought to be wide open because they never throw to the tight end. But watch this play as Evans off the play action pass. You'll see Robin Earl come across your screen. Everybody's too deep for him. No linebacker helping. Robin made a nice catch. That ball was behind him. He kept his eyes on the ball, turned up the field, and he's like a freight train once he gets going. Boy, you better climb on. And finally, it took a 2 or 3 49ers to bring him down.
A 24-yard gain, the first catch of 81 for Robin Earl, the 245-pounder, tight end. Evans calling, handoff to Walter Payton inside against that 34. Probably gets 3 or 4. The 34 defense, if your linebackers don't pursue well, it is absolutely useless. But if they can range and gang tackle, they can make it work against the rush.
Well, most teams have the philosophy that a team that uses a 3-4 against you, you run at it because you have 4 men who are basically off the line of scrimmage. The 3-4 is supposed to be good for chasing end runs, and they figure that Payton, will run more end runs than anything else, and that's why they're using it. Payton is now 5th. He needs 131 yards rushing to pass Jim Taylor on the all-time rushing list.
6 yards to go for a first down. The ball is on the 33. Handoff to Payton running left. Good play from behind by number 78, Archie Reach. And I believe Pillars got in on the play, too. Walter tried to wait for blocking that time. That really didn't develop.
That's right. And they came from behind to strip it behind the Bears' offensive guard. You're going to see this right here as you're going to take a look at number 78 right there. Archie Reach, he came from behind the guards, and as Walter took his hesitation to find his hole, it just wasn't enough time to take that hesitation, and boom, they made the tackle.
Coach Armstrong knows that this third down call, Johnny Morris, is very important. If you don't make this one, you don't make the playoffs. Third down and 6 on the 32. Straight drop back pass by Evans. He's being chased. He's being almost tackled and gets out of trouble and tries to lateral and does. Ooh. And Neal, the center, ended up with the football.
And I'll say one thing, he didn't want it, but he got it. Actually, Dan Neal did a pretty good job there of hanging on to the ball because number 29, Saladin Martin, really hit him as Evans tried to scramble out of the pocket. They got an instant pass rush on him, and it looks like we might have some kind of a discussion here.
Well, if it's a lateral, you're okay. If it's a pass, it's going to be an illegal receiver, and I think they're going to rule it. Let's see.
It looked like it was parallel.
They're going to call it a lateral, which it appeared to look like from up here, but as you said, Neal does not want the ball. Parsons will be punting now. In a way, a good break, considering what could have happened to Evans had he gotten too silly with the ball. Hicks and Solomon are back for the punt. There's Parsons' kick, trying for the corner. Gets a bounce. Takes the roll. It goes right to home plate. San Francisco playing hard-nosed defense. Good-looking tackling. And we've been told their 3 rookies couldn't work in that secondary, but they are.
So far, and a lot of man-to-man coverage in that work, too, as you look at Bob Parsons off the field. Let's take a look at the last play where Evans had to hand that lateral off as Archie Reese, 78. He got by Noah Jackson, put the pressure on Evans, and Evans does a pretty good job here. He's lucky he didn't fumble the ball. That ball is really way out. And finally, he spots Neal and just shovels the ball over there. And it does appear to be a lateral, but watch out. Here came Mark. Dan Neal says, remember, I'm a lineman.
Straight ahead play from the 20-yard line. Earl Cooper, the 220-pounder out of Rice, hit by Coombs. 49ers really don't look like they run with enthusiasm. I mean, talk about rushing the football. They look like they are waiting for that signal from the sideline so they can throw it again.
I think you're right. Well, Bill Walsh, he's an advocate of the passing game all the way. He'll pass 80 times. He only does it runs once in a while to keep the game in perspective and keep everybody honest.
Linville Elliott in now, along with Cooper. The I formation setup. Solomon is flanked. Inside handoff. That's Cooper for a couple.
Let me ask you, will Dan Neal get a carry? Does he get a carry? One carry?
Well, he's already gotten a bad thumb jammed on a line play, and to be given that ball like that hog bladder draws such a crowd, and they all had good shots at Evans, much less the center.
And in 1998, he can look back and carries per season. Dan Neal 1 -3.
Call your insurance man. Here we go. 7 yards to go. 3rd down and 7 for Montana and the 49ers. Solomon and Dwight Clark. Going for Clark. Oh, drops the ball. Reuben Henderson made sure. A quick slant in pattern. That Henderson puts a shoulder in out of San Diego State, a rookie. Boy, Jim Finks and company got a real good draft when they picked Reuben Henderson up to play secondary.
Yes, he did put a good hit on. However, Clark dropped this ball before the contact was made. The ball hit him right up there in the pads, kind of right there, and just came right out. And then Henderson did what he's supposed to do, and that's follow through on the hit.
Miller is back to kick, barefoot and all, and he gets it out. It's a low kick. Fisher's going to take it. There may be roughing the punter. The flag's back. Fisher's inside the 50 to about the 47-yard line, but the flag is down. Barefoot boy might have gotten rough. Automatic first down if that's the case.
Well, that's the way they're going to call it, because they did make contact with him after he punted the ball, and the rush had come right up the middle, so the players really didn't have an angle. As you know, the coaches tell you go across in front of the punter, but they were coming straight up the middle, and there were 3 or 4 of them, and they did make contact, so it should be San Francisco's ball, first down. As Bill Walsh says, I like that, I like that.
He's talking about the next offensive series.
Running into the kicker, number 84. First down on the defense, 84.
That's just a 5-yard penalty. It's not roughing the kicker.
Not flagrant, right? So it's first down, which is the automatic, but the yardage doesn't go up. But the 49ers keep the football. 34 seconds left here in the first period. San Francisco on top, 7-0. First and 10, Montana back to pass. Dumps it over the middle to Ricky Patton, about the 20-yard line. Gary Campbell making the tackle. Make that Coons.
The Bears put the blitz on that time, and Montana picked it up and just dumped it to his back, hoping that he could break a tackle and make some yards. You know, that touchdown pass to Patton was interesting because the Bears were in a zone. They had their double the wideouts, and it's pretty tough if you can get a back that far down the field behind the secondary.
Somebody's got to hit that back coming through the line, and that's where he's trying to go. That'll be the end of the first quarter. The 49ers will have the wind and the football, and the Bears right now do not have any points on the scoreboard. San Francisco 7, Chicago nothing, and Montana and the 49ers think they can really rev it up. Joe Montana is now 8 of 12 for 103 yards in the first quarter. How many times did they run the ball, John?
They ran the ball 7 times, so they passed 12 and ran 7.
Be careful about blitzing this young man, though. He reads very quickly, and he's got so many people coming out of the backfield, he can dump it on you. Second down, and 7 to go on the 31. Draw play, back to Ricky Patton. Patton out to the 35-yard line. A couple of scores that might be of interest. Look at this one. Atlanta 31, Green Bay 17, a final, and Joel Williams, a linebacker, runs one in, a 55-yard fumble against Bart Starr.
And the Packers were ahead 17-0 at one time. Here's New Orleans over Los Angeles, a real shocker, 23-17. Houston beat Cleveland 9-3.
Must have been in a snowstorm.
And it was Kansas City beating the Buccaneers 19-10.
All right, third down and 2 on the 36, they call it. Montana from a straight right for me. Cooper's got a lot of livers, knocked out of bounds at about the 44-yard line by Gary Fensick. And it was a desperate lunge that did it. 49 was down the sideline.
And I think Terry Schmidt may have a bad knee because he was blocked by Freddie Solomon. As you'll see, he comes out of the backfield wide open as the Bears were in the short yardage situation. There was a mistake in the defensive backfield. Now watch down the field. You're going to see Solomon block on Terry Schmidt, number 44, 88 on 44. And Schmidt goes down and came up limping badly, and he's being carried off the field as the San Francisco 49ers are driving. But more importantly for the Bears, Schmidt is out of the game as Jeff Fisher has come in, number 24.
A great tackle by Gary Fensick, a score-saving tackle, I might add, on a big fullback. Montana, first and 10 now on the 45. He dumps it outside. That's Cooper again. Cooper hits Coons, the middle linebacker. I'll tell you, they send so many receivers out, you've got to have your prevent defense in most of the time.
Well, Walsh has the quarterbacks really geared. His quarterbacks, they know what they're doing. Everybody goes to a certain spot, and they throw to those backs and try and... I firmly believe if you throw to a back behind the line of scrimmage, it should be a run from scrimmage, not a pass play.
But that's not the way the rule reads,
That's
right?
not the way the rule reads, but it certainly should be that way because what he's trying to do is just make it an end run, get a back around the horn.
You're right. Nifty trick if you can get away with it. Second down and 6 to go. The ball right on the 40. Inside run this time by Cooper, who's hit hard by Walter. But looks like he has the first down with a yard to spare.
Well, I think Earl Cooper is vindicating himself for the bad rap he got last week. Jim Osborne thought he had him. He ended up with a handful of dirt because they are now on the dirt skin, the infield part of the football field, which does affect your strategy a little bit because most of the players, I'm sure, are wearing the cleats, the ones I saw, that are more suited for the grass. And a cleat that's suited for the grass is not suited for the dirt.
That's right. First down rushing by San Francisco, but Montana is mixing it up, and they're driving here in the second period. First down and 10 on the 33. Inside handoff to Cooper. Down to the 30. Good tackle by Fenson. Hampton also came under. Turnovers. Maybe they decide the ultimate winner, and the Bears have got to start thinking about a way of getting the ball away from the 49ers.
There's Dan Hampton, 99, who has played a couple of plays at the defensive tackle spot. He wants to stay out there at that defensive end spot because he likes it out there where you can roam, especially when you're almost 6'7". You don't like to be in there at that guard, at that defensive tackle spot where people can chop you.
Second down and 7, the ball on the 30. In Chicago territory. Double wing formation. Uh-oh. Clock run out?
Yes.
They get their signals. Montana, the quarterback, does from the other quarterback that's on the side with the big guy Benjamin, who's standing next to Coach Walsh.
And as you notice, Montana looking for the signal. Now he has the authority to call audible or check it off, and sometimes they dummy the signals to confuse a defensive team or coaches who might be trying to steal the signals. They will go through a whole dummy thing already. When Montana already has a play in mind.
The Bears have gone to their nickel defense. They are trying to counter whatever Walsh might have called on second down and 12 to go on the 35.
And Schmidt is back in the game.
And they are gaining the line of scrimmage. Chicago's up. Now they drop back out of it. Montana under a rush, dumps it. The ball looks like it might have been deflected by Hampton somewhat. Trying to get the ball to punt. Pretty good rush by Chicago that time.
Well, that's the whole secret of this game, right? If you put pressure on the quarterback, you're going to win.
Montana, a very cool customer. I'll never forget the Cotton Bowl victory when the Irish were out of it against the University of Houston. And somehow Montana and Notre Dame came back to win it. One of the darndest bowl games or college games I ever watched. Third down and long. Third and 12. Montana kept the back in this time for help. Dumps it over the middle. It's fumbled. The ball is a live ball. And Finsick has it at about the 12-yard line or 10. A quick catch and a fumble. Let's see who was it caught that.
Doug Plank is the man who recovered it in on the special backfield. Here's the play. Pretty good action. Now he had the ball, there's no question. Ricky Patton down the field. The ball comes squirting out, and the fumble was forced by... Who forced that fumble? I don't know, but there's Doug Plank. He grabs the ball, and finally it's Solomon who brings him down, but it's the Chicago Bears ball. I never did see who made that hit.
Well, it was Elliott that was carrying the ball, too. We didn't see it, but we should try to identify that person. The Bears get the turnover they're looking for. A fumble by Elliott. But they trail on the scoreboard 7-0 in the second period. It might have been Todd Bell that caused that fumble. We couldn't get a read on it here watching the replay during that timeout, but it's a good one for the Bears. They trail 7-0. First and 10, the ball on the Bear 18-yard line. 12-yard line. High formation. Evans back to throw. Point outside. A real rifle for Ricky Watts, and it's broken up by Ronnie Lott, the #1 draft out of USC.
Well, the pass was there. As you take a look at Ricky Watts, a rookie, Ronnie Lott, covering down and the turn in, and he actually dropped that ball. Ronnie Lott got his hand in there, but that's the kind that when it's in your stomach, you ought to be able to hang on to the ball.
Evans is taking a little off of those throws now. That was a catchable pass. Evans is 1 for 4 now for 24 yards. Second down and 10 on the 12. Back to throw again. Second to back out. Evans is going to run. Now he wants to throw. Now he's going to run with it. And it's knocked out of bounds by Ronnie Lott, a very physical young rookie cornerback.
Well, Evans was looking for Watts again, but he was covered. They had double coverage on him, so he took off here, and at least he's looking down the field for the pass. He was ready to throw it if he could find somebody open, then he takes off down the field and tries to put the little deke on Ronnie Lott, but Ronnie Lott's a pretty good athlete, too.
Two old SC grads meeting, huh?
Yes.
Third down, and call it 5 on the 17. Pickup by the very gifted Chicago quarterback. Mashnagel and Marjoram to the left side. Ricky Watts to the top of the formation on third. Low left by Evans. Overthrows. Marjoram on the sidelines, closely covered by Ronnie Lott. Looked like he might have tripped him up a little bit going for the ball, but the ball was a little high. There's Lott. Was a great All-American safety man. They said he can play corner, and if he can't, well, you know he can play safety, but let's try him at the toughest defensive spot in football, the corner.
Can you imagine playing defense in the NFL with 3 rookies in your backfield? It just seems, I haven't seen that before.
No, nobody has yet. Parsons is standing back, going to kick it from about the 8-yard line. A low kick, but a good hang time. Solomon waits on the 40-yard line. Solomon drags a body down to the 44-yard line. Todd Bell making the tackle for Chicago. A 43-yard punt return 14. And San Francisco has the ball in Chicago territory. 11:59 left. 49ers lead it 7-0. 5 carries. Evans has 5 yards on his one carry, and Suey is a -2. But right now, San Francisco has the football and the lead. The ball on the 46-yard line of Chicago. First and 10. Montana on a long count. Straight drop. Kept the backs in this time. Going deep. Going for Solomon on Schmidt, and Solomon catches it. A great catch by Montana, and a great catch by Solomon on a super solid throw. A 46-yard touchdown strike.
It was just a straight up pattern, and Montana must have thrown that ball about 55 or 60 yards. He had plenty of time. Solomon man for man on Terry Schmidt down the sidelines, and the pass was perfect. Bent him a little bit to the outside. He only had a step on Schmidt, but it was a perfect pass. Oh, I'm telling you, right on the button.
That's the second touchdown catch for Solomon, and good blocking. They kept both backs in the block.
That's right. And Schmidt had been hurt. He hurt his leg a few plays ago, and they figured maybe he can't run the way he normally does, and the pass was right there. Not much that could be done about that. Schmidt was very close on the coverage. It was just perfect execution.
Matt Barr with Montana holding. It's good. It's now 14-0, and Joe Montana is now 12 of 17 for 193 yards and 2 touchdown passes. 49ers have come out red hot and going upstairs.
Shot of that step that Solomon got on Terry Schmidt. Notice it was one-on-one coverage, first down pass. You're not going to get too much help over on the other side from the inside safety, so it was man for man, Terry Schmidt. So you've got to throw on first once in a while.
Perfect throw. Matt Barr from the 35. Williams back at the 4.5-yard line. Williams for Chicago gets a good block on the outside. Williams finally run out of bounds at the 33. Martin making the stop. There's the 49ers still on the field. That scoring drive, 1 play, first down throw, and you said it before, Johnny, we all have. There's nothing like a good first down pass. Of course, they pass on first, second, and third down.
Well, that's true, but when you throw on first, your chances of getting a man-for-man coverage in that kind of a pattern are increased considerably because it's a first down situation. Ricky Churchman was slightly hurt for San Francisco. He's off the field. He's okay. Number 33, I think he's a little bit shaken up there. Got his head knocked a little bit.
Ball is on the 33-yard line. The Bears now will see if they're a good catch-up team on offense. Evans has Ricky Watts to the bottom. Bass Schlegel to the top, an I formation. Walter Payton has been quiet. Here's the toss to Walter Payton behind Suey's block. Cut back inside. He's hit hard. Hard at the 37-yard line. Pillars, the big defensive end in there.
They're getting great pursuit from the offside that time. As Walter turned up, there were people coming from the other side. Look at this. The Buffalo Bills lead Baltimore 35-3 in the fourth quarter, and Buffalo romped over the Jets last week. Here's San Diego 7-3 over Detroit in the second quarter. And it's Seattle 7, Denver 3, second quarter. And Dallas 14-7 over the St. Louis Cardinals.
We're here in the second period with 11 minutes gone in the second period, and the Bears have not scored yet. Handoff to Suey off the right side. Gets close to the 40-yard line. Looks like the Bears are going to try to get the running game going now to cut off some of that pursuit that's happening. Harper making the tackle along with Archie Reese, who's playing super at the nose tackle right now.
Actually, the 49ers aren't doing that much fancy. They're playing their straight 3-4, not much in the way of blitzes. They're not that fancy on defense, and that's why one would figure that the Bears would be able to move the ball a lot better than this.
With three rookies in the secondary, you can't be too fancy, and once in a while they will make a mistake. The Bears wonder when it's going to be. Third down, and 3 to go. Ball's on the 40. Walter Payton sweeping left, cut back inside, and gets almost to midfield on tremendous just individual effort. Tackled there by Willie Harper, the Nebraska linebacker. Walter, who can do the squat press, about 600 pounds, and he does use his legs, doesn't he?
Yes, he does that with his little toe. He has 8,467 yards. He needs 131. He's probably less than that, as you see a gang of 49ers finally make the tackle. But he has started 80 straight games for the Bears, Walter Payton.
Marjoram is flanked out to the right, the rookie from Stanford. Ricky Watts is split to the left. High formation. First down call. Back to Walter Payton. Payton cuts inside. Oh, it's hit hard by Lott. Lott doesn't give anything, as Walter just does get into San Francisco territory.
Did you notice how quickly Payton jumped up after the ball? Neil Armstrong and some of the other coaches are trying to tell him to stay down and relax for a couple of seconds before he gets up, because sometimes he lets that ball go because it gets up so quickly, and it cost him on a fumble against Atlanta. As you see, Ricky Churchman over there getting some smelling salts.
He's the young Longhorn, the former Texas All-American. Trying to figure out where he is. And we're at Candlestick Park. Second down and 7. Evans back to throw. Has it blocked. Number 65 got his hand on it. Big defensive lineman Pillars. Well, they collapsed that pocket right around Vince Evans that time.
And they're not rushing all that many guys there to get back in there in that defensive backfield, the offensive backfield that quickly.
Going to bring up a third down and 7. And it looked like San Francisco put in their pass rush unit.
Here we go. We'll take a look at that deflected pass as Pillars. He's number 65 to the right there. He just stuck his hand up there and batted away. Third down situation.
Payton and Williams, three flankers outside. Slot to the bottom of the screen. Here's Evans going to the left side. Looking for Marjoram. And it just gets off the rookie's fingertips as Ronnie Lott was in hot pursuit. Marjoram's from Stanford. I would imagine a lot of his Stanford people are right here in the Bay Area.
Well, he needed about 50 tickets for this game because of all his friends, and he is going towards the sideline. Ronnie Lott makes a nice play. The ball was actually a little bit, I don't think he would have had possession inbounds even had he caught the ball, as Ronnie Lott, Eric Wright were both there, two of those rookies we're talking about. Neil Armstrong was concerned about the intensity of the team after what happened against Green Bay, and he still must have that concern.
Wright Hicks is back. Parsons is punting. This is going to be, Solomon comes over and takes it. Gets 3 or 4 and then is drilled. Good punting and good coverage.
Did you notice he caught that ball from the side? A dangerous way to catch a punt, but he held on. San Francisco has the ball. The 49ers still lead 14-0.
8:45 in the second period left. San Francisco has a 14-point lead. A great passing exhibition by the young man you're watching right there, Joe Montana. First 10 now. The ball on the 18-yard line. Cooper, the fullback, goes in motion. Million formations. Montana right on it. It's Charlie Young. Charlie Young, 12-year veteran out of SC for a first down. Coons made the tackle, the middle linebacker.
They took Mike Wilson straight down the field, and he carried Gary Fensick. You'll see Gary Fensick down deep trying to help on the coverage on the wide receiver, and he can't get back in time to help to knock the pass down to Charlie Young, and so a linebacker has to do it, and San Francisco has another first down.
And they show you a million different formations, and all of them end up with Montana throwing on the first one. First and 10 now. Inside handoff to Earl Cooper. He doesn't get much and almost fumbled the ball. Osborne, Hampton there. Gary Campbell.
The key there was Osborne. He beat Fred Quillen, just beat him and stuffed it up.
Second down and 9.
What did you say?
On the 33.
Excuse me, Tom. What did you say? Montana was 12 of 17. He's now 13 of 18, right?
For 199 yards, and we're not close to halftime yet. Ball's on the 33. Second down. Call it 9. Handoff. Ricky Patton sweeping left, being cut off there and dropped. There's a flag dropped at about the 45-yard line. Ricky Patton held up as Alan Page made the tackle, and pretty good force work on the far side there by Reuben Henderson.
Yes, and a super play by Otis Wilson.
Let's go to Brent Musburger now, back in New York for an update, the NFL report update. You're seeing Bob Frederick, the referee today, marking off the penalty against San Francisco. We'll get the call.
Offensive holding, number 86. Second down repeated.
Charlie Young, the tight end, holding a bear, and he was caught by my old pledge father in Colorado, Mr. Frederick, the referee. Can you believe that? Good friend of mine. There's Charlie Young.
Your what, pledge father, did you
Pledge
say?
father, yeah, I did it all. Second down and 20. The ball on the 22-yard line. Montana goes, the ball is snapped back. Montana picked up by Hartenstein on the 4. The ball was snapped right past Montana. And Hartenstein comes up with it, and the Bears get a second big turnover of a fumble.
Let's take a look and see what happened there as the man in motion, it just went right on through. Boy, the heck
Montana
happened?
still can't find it.
Yeah, he didn't even know where it is, and Hartenstein was on his rush and alertly got on the ball and made sure that he had it, tried to get a couple of extra steps, took the leap, almost had him a touchdown.
Hartenstein can bench press 500 pounds, and it looked like the ball weighed 500 when he tried to pick it up, but a big turnover for the Bears, and this might ignite the offense somewhat, get on the board and don't trail by a shuttle. First down, first and goal. The ball is on the 3. Suey and Payton in the backfield. A handoff to Suey, gets one good block. Looked like Harper came in from the linebacking spot to make the tackle.
And Milt McCall was in on that tackle, number 53. He's the son of Bill McCall that used to play for the Bears back in the 50s, a fine tight end.
Now a doctor.
Yes, he's a doctor. He was one man that could do anything. He could fix high fives. He could do anything with his hands. He could play. He was a great bridge player. He was a doctor, good football player. You know, he's one of those people that
we despise, right? Now McCall is a great guy, and his son made quite a tackle. Here it is now. Second goal from the 2. Walter Payton, good block by Sorey, but he's close. He makes the touchdown. Payton went through and just put his head down and got it. Sorey ran into the cornerback out there a lot and really got jarred, but Walter didn't need much room. Touchdown, Chicago.
Well, you knew when he got around the horn there a little bit that with the momentum that he had, that he was going to make the end zone. You'll see Matt Suey, number 26, leading the way, the lead running back, and he gets everything kind of jammed up and helps out too, and Payton just puts his shoulder down and bulls his way into the end zone. A lot of power. There he is, 202 pounds of romping, stomping dynamite. He can see, watch that dip, and his legs. See, his legs are still moving. Some players, when they make that contact, those legs don't keep driving.
Thomas out of Ashnagel's hole. It looks good, and the arms are up, and the Bears are back in the game. Thomas finds the mark, and Walter Payton finds the end zone. San Francisco 14, Chicago 7. 6 minutes left in the second period. All right, the Bears are on the board. Walter Payton's 72nd career touchdown. A short burst where he carried about 3 49ers. Thomas will kick off from the 35 against the wind with Lott and Mike Wilson back to take it. Ronnie Lott, number 42.
Now, they ought to be able to field that ball, let's say, or somewhere around the 15-yard line if that wind isn't strong. Well, they went to the little squibbler.
Little squibbler being mishandled and finally down at the 21. Johnny Davis, a running back, who didn't realize he did have some time, but at least he didn't end up coughing the ball up.
Well, he wanted to get up, and Ronnie Lott says, no, you stay down. Let's just play it safe and make sure we got the ball. There's a score. New England, an early 3-0 lead over Philadelphia. And the Jets over Cincinnati, 14-0.
That's 2 touchdown passes, one to Barkham and one to Wesley Walker, who's flying again and must be healthy. First down play now for San Francisco, and Montana has been brilliant. The ball's on the 21. 6:19 left in the second period. Man in motion is Cooper, the fullback, going across the middle. Looks like a good one at the 30-yard line. Dwight Clark with a diving catch. They're going to rule it a trap, and it's no good. Clark is 6'3", about 208 or 9 pounds. Runs a little pattern a little bit like Raymond Berry.
Yes, these are his best patterns. He caught 82 passes last year, but only 3 of them were for more than 30 yards. The ball did get loose, and it was a good call by the officials, as Dan Hampton is now at the defensive tackle spot. Alan Page is in, Hartenstein, and Osborne.
2nd and 10. And in motion is Solomon. Inside rush. Not much at all. Fensick was right there.
I was talking to Dan yesterday about playing the defensive tackle spot, and he is, as I mentioned earlier, he just doesn't like the idea. He's doing it for the good of the team with some injuries that they've had. They're a little short of defensive linemen, but he's just worried about people hitting him from the side because he's in all that traffic, and he's not used to being tied up by a guard and having a center hit you on the side of the knee.
The offensive linemen come up and stare at your knees. That's part of their act, you know. 3rd down and 9. Solomon in motion, and Montana's back to throw. He's being rushed, hit hard, and the ball is knocked away by Reuben Henderson, and a flag is dropped.
Henderson grabbed his arm, I believe, and pulled it right before the ball got there, and they're going to call it on Henderson.
Alan Harris put the big rush on and knocked Montana down.
Well, we'll get a good look at the pass rush, a crisscross by the defensive tackles. Now here's Henderson at the left of your screen. He reaches with one hand and then bats the ball away with the other, and they're calling him for reaching. I think it's a good call.
It's a very close call. If there was even negligible contact, I couldn't see it. A good play by the rookie, but it's going to be a first down for San Francisco. 1st and 10 on the 23.
Of course, if you were officiating, you'd call that a legal play all day, wouldn't you?
I don't know how they play defense anymore. Easily a rookie fullback, so they're Ricky Patton with the ball. Cut back. Gets to the 27. Hartenstein making the stop. You realize that last year there were 31 300-yard passing days in the NFC, and in 77 there were none. The rules have really put the ball in the air.
I think that's probably the classic statistic to tell the story as you look at Bill Walsh.
Bears are thinking pass. They've got Harris still in there for the pass rush, and Hartenstein's moved to left defensive end on 2nd down and 6 on the 27. The reverse to Solomon, cut off by Osborne. Good defensive play by the left tackle.
Alan Page and Osborne both in on that tackle. They tried to fool him that time. The Bears were waiting for it.
You run away from Alan Page, he'll eat you up. You run right at him, and sometimes he's on roller skates. There's Armstrong still keeping it up. And some of the quiet coaches are the ones that get the team higher, so you don't have to be a shouter to be a good head football coach. The players are the ones that have to play and hit.
Who was the biggest shouting coach you ever ran into?
Usually the other coach on the other team with me. Here it is on 3rd down now. Being rushed and dropped by Alan Page and almost intercepted in the far flat. Todd Bell got his hands on it, and I believe Fensick got close to it too.
Well, that was a risky one as Montana tried to get out of the pocket. Page with the crisscross. See Page at the left of your screen, 82, coming around, gets blocked, maintains the pressure, gets these hands on him. Montana still tries to throw it out to Solomon. And I'm telling you, it was deflected. And then there is Solomon leaping, and you're going to see Walter Scheid and Todd Bell, who is all over the place. 25.
Here's the punt by Miller. It's end over end at the 40. Still running and finally caught just short of San Francisco territory. Jeff Fisher, he took it on the run. And Miller not having a very good kicking year so far. A 37-yarder. First one was a 37-yarder, but absolutely no hang time at all.
Excellent field position now for the Bears. They're at midfield with a chance to get right back in this ball game.
14-7. A fumble recovery by Hartenstein and a Walter Payton 2-yard shot. First and 10 on the 49. Evans back to throw out of play action. Going across the middle. Marjoram, the rookie from Stanford, making the catch. And even this crowd is applauding the Chicago Bears.
He put a nice move on Ronnie Lott. Play action pass, first down, wide open, man for man. You can see Marjoram shoot right across at the top right of your screen. He's got the inside position on Ronnie Lott and makes the first down Chicago.
He's a lot quicker than he looks, too. Marjoram can run pretty well. He's got great hands. He's flanked at the top of the screen. First down on the 33. Straight drop back by Evans. Going outside. Oh, and he comes up with the ball and jogs back to the huddle. Really hit by Eric Wright, the Missouri rookie.
But Payton was up so fast you didn't think it even phased him. I'm not sure it did. He is so strong, and so it comes right into your screen. He's got to go for the ball. You try not to expose Walter Payton to something like that, but if you do, it's okay.
He might have come up
He's up and ready to go again.
San Francisco's lucky he didn't come down on his feet. 2:49 left before half.
That's right. He might have come down in the end zone.
Second and 7. 49ers look like they might be gambling a little bit. Wide open, bootleg by Evans. The flag is down, and Evans is collared at the 25-yard line. Willie Harper got him by the throat, and the flag is dropped. What would be illegal procedure? Somebody moved?
I think there was something wrong with that play. I'm not sure where. It looked too wide open, didn't it?
Somebody might have moved, but Evans came out running. He scored 8 touchdowns rushing a year ago in only 10 games as the quarterback, but he's a good athlete.
I think the thing he needed was that completion to Marjoram because of the fact that he has been off target in the early part of this ball game. He's been a little high, been a little off, and he completed a nice pass to Marjoram, and it always helps a quarterback to get a good one under your belt. Did you catch that call?
Illegal procedure. It will be second down and 12 now. The ball on the 35. The Bears need to keep this drive going. Marjoram and Ricky Watts. Watts to the top. Evans is back. He's looking toward Ricky Watts. He's going for him down the middle. And has it. Watts makes the catch at the 20. Hit hard by Hicks. A real good pass and catch by Watts.
An excellent pass protection for Evans. He had to take a little time to wait for Watts to get open because he has to get by one man there. That's Ronnie Lott putting the jam on. He can't hit him after that. And he's down the field, and then he'll make a little move to the inside and just turn, and Evans fired the ball right in there, and then he sustained the hit, and it's a first down for Chicago.
Good throw by Vince Evans. 2 minutes left. May not get this play off. There's the 2-minute warning. Bears are driving. San Francisco scored bang, bang. The Bears came back on a Payton plunge to make it 14-7, and now Vince Evans has them moving. Boy, that was some good pass. 2 minutes before halftime at Candlestick Park. The Bears are moving, but San Francisco won't give away. 14-7. 49ers lead. The preceding message was furnished by the National Football League. 2 minutes before halftime. First quarter and part of the second, all San Francisco. The Bears got that Hartenstein fumble on a crazy snap. Montana never saw the ball, and Hartenstein did, and then Payton scored, and now after taking the punt, Jeff Fisher had a good run back of a low Miller kick, and suddenly the Bears are back in business. First and 10 now on the 20-yard line, going in. Marjoram is flanked to the left. Ricky Watts. He to the top of your screen. Now Martin's in motion. Strong formation right. Weak side pitch to Walter Payton. Slipped right under the linebacker. Slipped under Jack Reynolds. He thought he was going to make a tackle and picked up yardage anyway.
That was an interesting play because Reynolds, 64, thought he had him right dead to rights, and all of a sudden he had slipped under him and gotten 2 or 3 extra yards. That should have been a 2nd and 10 situation, but it's 2nd and 7 just because Walter was able to squirm under.
Hacksaw Reynolds is having to learn the 3-4 defense. He played the 43 middle for L.A. for 12 years. 2nd down and 6 on the 18. Early contact. Looked like Robin Earl might have jumped. The Chicago tight end.
Well, he's been playing most of the game in place of Robert Fisher, mainly because of his blocking ability, and you could see he was coming across to make a block. I think that was going to be an end run to the right with Payton.
Encroachment offense, number 81.
10 penalty flags the Bears had in their loss to Green Bay, but this is the kind of penalty when you're driving for a touchdown you cannot afford.
Well, it changes the whole nature. You have a 2nd and 12 now,
2nd down,
which puts you into an obvious passing situation. The 49ers certainly haven't done much when they've had the Bears in the hole as far as blitzing or fancy defenses, mainly because they've been doing pretty well with what they've got so far.
Okay, 2nd down and 13. The ball's on the 23 now. It's a throwing situation. Here's the handoff to Walter Payton. He's got both guards out. Payton slips and falls and gets to the 20-yard line. Ronnie Lott playing the corner. Boy, the way coaches dream about and write books about. The young cornerback came up and set up on the outside and turned the play back in. Buns finally making the tackle.
The clock is still running with 59 seconds. They have opted not to stop the clock. But, you know, I don't think Payton cuts back quite as well on the regular surface as he does on
real grass.
On Soldier Field.
Could be. Good point. He slipped down that time. No timeouts called. 45 seconds in the first half. The Bears still have 3 timeouts. Back to throw. There's a flag down. Evans going for Ricky Watts. Almost intercepted by number 58. That was Keena Turner, almost intercepted. The ball thrown by Evans heading for Watts. The flag is down, though, John.
Well, the penalty is going to be against Chicago as we take a look as Keena Turner dropping way off in his linebacker position, almost made a wide receiver type of a reception. Here it is again. There's Watts. Double coverage with the linebacker way downfield.
Watts almost made the catch on the rebound.
We're going to have a field goal attempt, I would imagine, here.
By Thomas, who has had the sore leg, and I was watching him kick 35-yarders in practice, and he looked fairly strong at it. Baschnagel will hold at the 27, so we're talking about a 37-yard field goal, which is right at Thomas's limit. It's good. It's true. He didn't force the kick, and he kicked it true, and he really laid back and didn't hit that one too hard. So the Bears get points out of it with 32 seconds left in the first half, with 10 points in the second quarter. 51,000 here in a stadium that will hold 61,000, so there are 8,000 or 9,000 seats that are not filled. But if San Francisco under Walsh begins to win a few games, they'll pack this baby up.
This is a very important game for both teams, but in the NFC Central Division, as you look at the kickoff team huddling together and Neil Armstrong talking with them, he's saying, let's not make a mistake. I'm not sure that they would even, will they kick it downfield, 32 seconds? No, they would probably have to kick it down the field, some kind of a squib kick, rather than something real short, because 49ers got 1 first down, they could get a field goal. So they've got to be a little bit leery.
Coming up at halftime, don't forget, Brent, Phyllis, and Irv Cross with the highlights of all the NFL games played today, live from the CBS Sports Desk in Gotham City, New York.
Well, the point I was trying to make there was that you don't want to kick it all the way downfield and give them a free shot for an 80-yard kickoff return. But you don't want to kick it onside, because then they can get 1 first down and maybe kick a field goal. So you've got to give them that kind of a squibbler that gets beyond the front line of the 49ers.
But Thomas doesn't kick it real deep at best, so you're right. He may just hit a 9-iron or wedge shot in there about the 25-yard line. It'll be hard to handle. Debris Freeze has blown the ball off the tee. The kickers are just different, you know that. They always were.
Thomas is pretty close to normal.
There's a kick.
He went downfield with it.
Ball's going to go back into the end zone. Lott comes out with it. The rookie's going to run it out. He makes the corner at the 15. Now he's really jammed and hit. As Brian Cabral, the Colorado linebacker, really put a knock on the coverage for the Chicago Bears. 23 seconds left on the clock.
Who called it? Who called it?
The kickoff return almost wound down the second half clock. Here comes Jesse Cabral coming with the hit coming right here. Here comes number 54. Oh, boy, helmet to helmet. It's a good thing he had a mask on, face guard, or he'd be walking around with a real big smile, no teeth.
That Lott is a tough young man. 1st and 10 now. Lead 14-10 San Francisco. Montana now going for the rushing game. Ricky Patton.
Look at this.
Gets out clean and steps out of bounds as Gary Fensick was there. And boy, Ricky Patton got to the corner rather easily. Bears must have been looking for a pass play by Montana.
Well, they now have a chance to, with not one nice long completion, they could have a field goal attempt. There are 17 seconds left on the clock, and they're out of the bad field position at their 28-yard line.
Patton now has 34 yards on 6 carries, and of course has that big catch for the first touchdown for Montana.
You have to remember, San Francisco is an offensive-minded team.
Ball's on the 28, 1st and 10. Handoff to Ricky Patton, sweeping left. And having some success out to the 25 line. 8 seconds left. Now the timeout is burned. Doug Plank made the tackle. Solomon, a little slow getting up over there. The splendid receiver who tried to make a block for Ricky Patton. Armstrong on the Chicago side. There's Buddy Ryan in the orange sweater on the left.
And he's been with some pretty good defensive teams. He was a defensive coach with the Jets when they had that great Super Bowl victory against Baltimore Colts. That was what, the '69 Super Bowl?
Yeah. What do you figure about 62 different defensive fronts he can throw?
He claims 63.
63.
That's a lot of variety.
The last one is just a basic 4-3, which he doesn't run very much.
That's right. He also was with Minnesota, as you said, with Bud Grant for many years, so he's been in a lot of Super Bowls.
Yeah, boy, that's big game time. No doubt about that. Now, Otis Wilson is going out. Osborne's going out. Todd Bell is going out.
Al Harris is going out. Who's coming in? As Bruce Herron's in there. There's Mike Singletary, number 50, has come in.
Solomon, Mike Wilson in for San Francisco. He must be thinking pass of some kind, huh?
Wouldn't that be something if the 49ers quarterback sneaked it and messed the whole Bear defense up? There's Bill Walsh.
And Neil Armstrong. Used to be an Eagle, you know. He was a great hurdler in college at Oklahoma A&M. Good pass receiver, and he's really an excellent, solid citizen and a great coach. 2nd down and 3 on the 35. Not much time left. 7 seconds, 6. It's dumped by Montana. And just missed by Ricky Patton. Good play by Singletary, who just about got his hand on that ball, the rookie from Baylor.
That's right, and it's a good thing he did get his hand in there because Patton was in full swing and would have gotten deep into Bear territory because he was on the go, on the move, straight downfield, running at 6 o'clock, which means straight ahead.
Now Singletary plays the run extremely well, but the intricacies of the pass offense is the reason perhaps he's not playing, but now he's in the passing situation, huh?
Well, they got everybody in now for the passing situation, and backs and linebackers, just three rushmen.
3rd down with 4 seconds left. The draw play. Here comes Cooper, number 49, breaks out. Gets to the 42-yard line. That'll be the last play of the first half. And a good-looking offensive display by the San Francisco 49ers. But the Bears are back in business. San Francisco 14, the Chicago Bears 10, but the Bears outplayed the 49ers in that second quarter. Tom Brookshire with Johnny Morris. We're out in Candlestick Park where the 49ers have have come up with so much yardage in the first half, you can't believe it. John, have you ever seen anything like this? But the 2 fumbles were important that Chicago recovered. But what about the total offense?
Well, San Francisco 276 to 87 for the Bears. That is really a mismatch as far as statistics are concerned.
Yep.
But you mentioned those 2 fumbles. The one where they missed up the snap gave the Bears a touchdown. The other one, remember, it was a fumble way downfield on about the Bears' 10-yard line, which prevented San Francisco from getting another touchdown. So I know that Bill Walsh thinks, geez, we should be winning this game by a big margin, and it's anybody's ball game.
Up by 4. Of course, Montana had 199 yards passing, 2 touchdown passes. The beautiful one was a 46-yarder. This is not one of Montana's better plays, nor the 49ers. The snap went errant. Montana never saw it, and Hartenstein came on like a big bear and fell on it. And this set up the touchdown run by Walter Payton from 2 yards out. Number 72 of a career that I think is just getting started. Mr. Durable, Mr. Excitement, and strong as a horse. This made it 14-7. And of course, the field goal attempt I thought was rather encouraging if you're a Chicago Bear fan, that Thomas was able to kick that one from 33 yards and get him within range anyway. So we'll be back with the second half. It's a 14-10 game. San Francisco leads, but the Bears are breathing fire. First step. 49ers are warming up in the sun here near the city on the bay, San Francisco. That's, of course, Clark making the catch, putting it away, and Montana, who had a fantastic first half. In fact, we'll look and see. He was 13 of 21 for 199 yards. Vince Evans was 4 for 11, 57 yards, and we'll look at those stats right now. Again, total offense, Johnny, 87 yards for Chicago and San Francisco with 276.
And the 2 turnovers, plus the Bears had only 28 yards rushing. That means Walter Payton didn't get too many yards. He was 11 for 31. However, they were minus in other areas with Suey not getting a plus on as far as the yardage is concerned, as we see the kickoff.
Matt Barr approaches the ball. He's kicking with the wind, but hangs it. It's taken at the 10-yard line by Bashnagel. Bashnagel gets clear and is finally getting out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Good field position for Chicago. And while Evans did not have a great throwing first half, he did not have an interception, nor did the Bears have a fumble.
This is Milt McCall, Bill McCall's son, as he comes down on the kickoff team, gets through a little traffic here, and he's the one who ends up making the tackle on Brian Bashnagel. Milt McCall, very tall for a linebacker, about 6'6".
Ball is on the 32-yard line. It is a beautiful sunny day, and the Bears have come from the other side of the great beyond. They're back in at 14-10. Vince Evans all the way. Here comes Bashnagel in motion. High formation. Toss back to Walter Payton. Suey gets a block. Walter dips outside. And then is shoestring with a great tackle by Carlton Williamson. Williamson with a great tackle on the outside, or Walter might have made the sideline. The offensive lineup. Evans, Walter Payton, Suey, with Ricky Watts and Brian Bashnagel, of course, outside. Albrecht, Noah Jackson, Neal, Sorey, Dennis Lick, and Big Robin Earl, number 81, again the starter at tight end. A pickup of 4. Look at a pickup of 2. Second down and 8. Play action pass. Evans going to the deep sideline for Watts. Watts with a complete catch just inside 49er territory. Eric Wright struck him hard in the back.
That was a nice grab by Watts as he went down the field, turns on the speed, and he drove Eric Wright off. And if the pass is right, boy, that was a real nice move to the outside. Good leaping catch and absorbs the hit and hangs on to the ball. Ricky Watts, who has been a little bit, he had a good exhibition season, but he has a tendency sometimes to be a little bit inconsistent, and they want to get that consistency out of him if they can.
First and 10, just inside San Francisco territory, early in this third period. Vince Evans back.
Wide open.
Bashnagel in between. It's going to be called incomplete. He split the seam on the zone between the cornerback and the safety man. And Williamson makes another tough tackle, number 22.
It was Carlton Williamson who made up for his mistake. He didn't get over there in time on the double coverage. Bashnagel was wide open down the field, so Williamson came over and did the best thing that he could do is try and jolt the ball loose, and he did so. So it was an incomplete pass, a mistake there in the 49er defensive coverage.
Williamson out of Pittsburgh, a 204-pounder, 6 feet tall, a rookie, but playing well and hitting. Second down and 10 on the 49. Fake handoff, bootleg play by Evans. He's being chased and knocked down the 47-yard line by Keena Turner. Boy, the outside linebacker really makes the play that time on Evans.
Yeah, that was Keena Turner. Great job as Vince Evans looked like he was going to get around the horn for a minute.
Here it is, Pillars, Reese, and Dwayne Board. The 3 up men on the 34. Harper, Bunge, Reynolds, and Keena Turner, who just made that last tackle. Lott, Williamson, Hicks, and Wright. 3 of those young people are rookies, and Hicks has only been around a couple of years. They really do hit you. Third down and 7 on the 47. Slot to the left. Davey Williams is back in the backfield. Almost offside, 49ers. Evans back, flags are down. He's got a free one. Baschnagel at the 32-yard line. Eric Wright making the tackle.
Mr. Clutch, Brian Baschnagel. That time, I think the 49ers jumped offside. Vince Evans figured, hey, I got a free play, let's take it. He has plenty of time to throw the ball, and you're going to see Baschnagel appear in the screen right in the center here. Good pass blocking by the offensive line. There's Baschnagel, brings it in with both hands into the tummy, and it's a first down for Chicago. They will obviously refuse the penalty.
Boy, Baschnagel is one of the great third down receivers you'll ever see. He runs the pattern the same way.
Refuse. First down.
He was very nearly a Rhodes Scholar. That tells you something.
What is nearly a Rhodes Scholar? You're either a Rhodes Scholar or you're not.
Well, he was a finalist.
Oh.
You know, and that means something if you make the finals for that. Of course, you and I would know nothing about that, but that's what I was told.
First down for Chicago on the 32. Moving into San Francisco territory now. Walter Payton looking for somewhere to go, finds it. Finally hit by Turner and dropped. About the 27. Talk about a man on the move. Long way to go and a short time to get there. Could be his theme song.
He averages 5 yards a carry against the San Francisco 49ers over the years. The last time the Bears were here, they beat the 49ers 28-27. Remember that last pass to James Scott?
And Walter had 162 yards and 3 touches that day. But it's not over. The I formation now on 2nd and 4. Handoff to Walter Payton. Oh, he's hit. Walter Payton ran into the immovable object by the name of Jack Reynolds, and Bunge also helped. Nothing seemed to bother him, but he shook his head on that one.
He had shook his head, but he is unbelievably durable. I mean, he has speed, quickness, great hands.
He might be the prototype size, too, for a great running back. Under 6 feet tall so that he can hunch down and run under things, and still 204 pounds and hard as a rock.
And he does not get tired during the course of a game.
That's right. Third down and short yardage situation. Toss left to Payton. Payton's got the running room. Now he's darting to the outside behind Jackson's slot. Gets to about the 12-yard line. Bunge, the linebacker, finally tackles it. Hicks had to help on it. Walter Payton at his best.
Yes, he's coming out of that I formation, and that's where he is the best. Good block by Matt Suey there as he dipped inside. Then he followed Noah Jackson, who very seldom leaves his feet when he's pulling out as a pulling guard. Finally knocked out of bounds. Hicks is on the call, but sometimes Jackson doesn't leave his feet, but he provides a pillar to go around.
A rather large one, right?
Yeah.
First and 10, the ball on the 12-yard line. Bears have taken the second half kickoff and moved it. Evans back to throw to the bootleg side, right side, slant to Ricky Watts, and it's knocked away and played very well by Ronnie Lott.
Well, Watts is claiming that Lott hit him just a touch before the ball got there, and it was a very close call, no penalty. Okay, down on the quick post with Evans rolling out, and here he comes. Now, let's see, did Lott hit him too soon? That's a bang-bang play, tough.
Boy, you're playing corner out there. He's an All-American safety man, but just playing that corner against people like Watts, you've got to do everything within your realm of possibilities. That's Archie Reese, pardon me, that's down the nose tackle, and he's being helped off. Big fella's hurting. Chicago's driving. San Francisco, 14-10 over Chicago. Tampa Bay comes to Soldier Field, takes on the Bears. That'll be a live broadcast here on CBS, and that could be a little bit of a tough game.
If Doug Williams is on, it's going to be a very A very good game. Tampa Bay's 1-1. They lost to Kansas City today.
All right, second 10 now. On the 12-yard line. The Bears have not given up the ball in the third period. Straight drop back pass by Evans. He's got Payton out. Now he's going to cross to Robin Earl. Earl's going to score a touchdown. The Bears are ahead in the football game, and Robin Earl spiked the defensive back and the ball.
Boy, once he got the ball, you knew they were going to stop him before he got to the goal line. He's like a freight train. Boy. Okay, plenty of time as they took Payton out of the backfield there. Payton went straight down, and you're going to see the tight end Earl goes down and hooks and then dips to the outside. Hicks misses the tackle, and then there's two 49ers waiting, Ronnie Lott, and I'll bet he wasn't looking forward to that. And finally, Robin Earl pulls his way into the end zone, and I think is cementing himself in the #1 spot at tight end.
Yeah, he made quite an adjustment a year ago from fullback to tight end. Here's Thomas out of Bashnagel's hole. Boy, that is straight as a string. Suddenly it's Chicago 17, San Francisco 14. The Bears took the kickoff, the good return by Bashnagel, and Evans and Walter Payton took it right down and gave it to Robin Earl. Bears 17, 49ers 14. Robin Earl's third touchdown catch. He had 3 last year, and that's the first one this year, so he now has 4. He's lining up right next to Thomas there as the former Notre Damer will kick it off from the 35. That's Wilson and Ronnie Lott. This is going to be Lott taking it at the 12-yard line. Almost coughs it up. Now comes straight up. Oh, he is drilled in hit as Todd Bell got in on the tackle, the Ohio State rookie.
And Brian Cabral, boy, he hits. What happened that time, because it took him so long to get a hold of the ball, the blocks by the 4 horsemen were already thrown, so everybody had come off their blocks, off the 49er 4 horsemen blocks, and then he just had a host of white jerseys charging at him right here, and the 3 of them will hit him at one time.
Woo! I'll tell you, Ronnie Lott likes to make contact, though. He's been hit harder in one game than I was my whole career.
Take me off the kickoff team.
First and 10, the ball on the 32. Montana out of the eye, going to throw it, going to the outside. Clark has it, falling down. The 39-yard line. Terry Schmidt was there.
And boy, so was Earl Cooper coming out of the backfield. He was wide open for about an easy quick 6 right down the sideline. There's 49, he's open. And then you see Bruce Herron trying to make the stop short, and Schmidt deep, and a nice catch.
I like Montana's touch. I like his touch throwing the ball. He's got a real good release.
Solomon's off the field with a sprained ankle.
Solomon's out, so you've got second, the short yardage offense up. Second, a couple. Montana changing the play. Handoff. Ricky Patton off the right side. Doesn't look like he made it from here.
No, he's going to be a little bit short. We'll have to see. Solomon was really limping when he came off the field. We'll see if he comes back in the game. For Ricky Patton, Ricky Ricardo Patton. He said his mommy was a big fan of I Love Lucy many years ago, and she liked Ricky Ricardo, so she named her son Ricky Ricardo.
Well, at least didn't name him Lucille. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Now we've got third and short. Here are a couple of scores of action around the NFL. Oh, San Diego and Detroit are locked up in the third period. Lions are playing tough. This division's going to be tough, the Central Division of the NFC. Freddie Solomon is back in the game now. Short yardage. Handoff. No, don't believe so. Number 31. That's Walt Easley, the big rookie from West Virginia. And if anything, he might have lost a little bit. That was Dan Hampton that came under. The Razorback made some play from that inside spot that time.
That was a super play by the entire right side of the Bears defensive line. They just pushed the offensive line back as you see some more scores. Dallas 24-14 in the second quarter.
Ron Springs is running wild for the Cowboys, we're told. Here's young Miller back standing. Oh, he gets a high snap. Oh, he drilled. And that is a 5.2-second handoff, and it may die at the Bears' 6-yard line. That was some kick under extreme pressure by young Miller.
And he did it with his little toes.
We've got a football game. The Bears are on top by 3, but San Francisco's kicking. It's 17-14. Keep in mind, the 49er defense held Billy Sims, to 59 yards on 21 carries a week ago. Walter Payton now has 53 on 15 carries, so Walter can move those stats around very quickly when he has the hot hand. Let's see what happens. The ball's on the 8-yard line. First and 10. Throw set backfield. Evans to Walter Payton. He's hit hard and doesn't get much, maybe up over the 10. Archie Reese back in at nose tackle, made a good play. If you don't have a nose tackle that can ride with the flow and not get blocked, you can't play the 34.
Archie Reese is a little bit banged up after being in on that tackle. Looked like he might have hurt his elbow, his arm or his elbow.
That might be one of the most amazing things in football is how that nose tackle can take those blocks and move along and shuffle down the line and make plays. Okay, we'll wait to see how Archie's doing. We'll be back in just a moment. We got 9:06 left in the third period. Archie Reese has given it a shot. He hurt his ankle. Now he's holding his arm. A 265-pounder out of Clemson. And big fella, you can't play any tougher than you played today. Hardy is in there. The rookie from Iowa is in at nose right now. It's second down and 6. Handoff to Walter Payton. Boy, he doesn't get much. Hit hard there. 49ers reacting. Pete Kugler, number 77, the rookie from Penn State, made the tackle.
And they went right up the middle, right where Mr. Archie Reese used to be hanging around, and they're going to give it a try. As you look at Philadelphia, 6-3 over New England in the third quarter.
The Jets on top of Cincinnati at the half. Todd having a hot hand for the New York team. Here we are. It's third down and 4. Third down and 4. The Bears have had the ball most of this third period. This is a big play. Rolled to the right by Evans. Around the middle, can't hold on to it. And Willie Harper, the linebacker, disturbed the big tight end and knocked it away. Good third down defense.
A partial rollout for Vince Evans, and the pass was there, just didn't quite make the connection. He didn't hang on to the ball, primarily because this man, Willie Harper, was around kind of hanging all over Robin Earl. The 49ers still sitting pretty basic in their 3-4 and not doing much red dogging with it. One of these, pretty soon they're going to have to take a couple of chances maybe and see if they can cause themselves a turnover or something.
Parsons is standing right on the goal line. Solomon and Hicks are waiting for it. The wind is against the Chicago punter. He gets a great hang time. Solomon at the 40. Look out for Freddie Solomon. Solomon, a good run back to the 43-yard line. And the 49ers set up shop in Chicago territory. A 46-yard punt, an 18-yard return. Hilgenberg and Baschnagel making the tackle.
Here's Solomon on the return. He was trying to get to the other side, but there was one Bear downfield that turned him inside, and it turned out to be the best way to go. Straight up the middle. Get yourself 10, 15 yards. Good field position. 42-yard line for San Francisco.
Montana hasn't had the ball now much for San Francisco in this half, in this quarter. First and 10 now on the 42. Here's fading to Pat. He's rushed and throws the ball away. Dan Hampton, number 1 pick a couple of years ago, put so much heat on Montana, he threw it halfway to Helena.
The statistics are starting to even out a little bit as Montana looks over for Guy Benjamin, who has gotten the signal or the word from Coach Bill Walsh to call the play, and then it's up to Montana to run that play or audible if he thinks he needs to.
Reese, the big nose tackle, has a hyperextended elbow and probably will not come back. Second down at 10. Montana from a double wingback formation. He's by himself. Ooh, he fights Clark. Knocked out at the 33-yard line by Bruce Herron. Boy, he's a sneaky receiver, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And that time, the 49ers caught the Bears shifting their defensive line. Here comes Clark across the field. Herron, 51, is going to pick him up. And the pass was there, but there was no pressure from the left side from Harris because he was in the process, Al Harris, of shifting and didn't get off on a pass rush, and they had plenty of time to throw, especially with that side.
The under receiver, with Solomon taking things deep and clearing out, Clark can catch a basket full of passes, and he has. He also married Miss Universe. It shows you can't be all wrong all the time, right? Right. Third down and short yardage. Montana still going back to throw on it. Gets it to Cooper on the outside. Cooper stepped out of bounds. Walter shied to stand.
First down.
I think Cooper's a load at 227, 6'2". He played at Rice. I think they only won one game in 2 seasons. They were 1 and
That's
18
right. The bigger they are, the harder the fall. When I was a kid, I used to watch you hit those guys.
Yeah.
I tell you, you really hit.
Oh, yeah. The harder they fall on you. 1st and 10. 49ers driving now on the 31. Solomon to the bottom of the screen. Clark to the top. Here's the handoff on the run. Ricky Patton pulled down by Hampton from behind, and for a loss of a couple. Hampton's playing some defensive game.
Yes, for a man who's having to move around and play tackle and play end and play tackle. If he keeps doing a good job like that, he's stuck in there on the inside playing defensive tackle.
The great thing is it also allows Alan Harris to play at the defensive end, doesn't it?
Right. And that's one of the reasons that they're doing it. And they know that Alan Page is going to be retiring.
That's Guy Benjamin, number 7, the former Stanford quarterback that went to Miami. He's arguing a little bit with the head coach, Mr. Walsh, on the call.
Do you think he was arguing with him about it?
Well, you can always argue with your college coach. It's when you get into pro ball you can't argue. Now Montana gets into the debate. I could always see things much more clearly when I wasn't playing.
Which was a lot of the time.
All right. We'll be back at Candlestick in just a moment. Chicago leads 17-14. The 49ers might be driving. Everybody has a good time in San Francisco on a breezy, beautiful day. Ain't life grand, huh?
He's got to be a 49er fan.
He had his jacket right there. 2nd down and 10. Montana with the ball on the Chicago 31. He hasn't had a chance to operate. Here goes Cooper in motion, the fullback. Keeps the back end for blocking. Now he's caught. Now he's going to throw across the middle. He's got Clark, but Clark can't hang on to the ball. Walter Payton almost picked it up. Boy, Clark is going to be mad. That ball was delivered.
That's 2 or 3 that he's dropped today that were maybe a little bit tough catches, but you got to hang on to him. But this one was right in there. You're going to see Walter Payton almost as Montana adjusted very nicely in the pocket. Boy, that was right on the button. But Walter Payton was so intent on making the tackle, he didn't see the ball come. Clark did adjust well. When Montana was in trouble in the pocket, he adjusted and came over towards the way that Montana was. And
might have looked away quickly. Might have taken a peek, huh?
Yeah.
3rd down and 10. Crucial 3rd down defensive play. Crucial 3rd down offensive play, too. Here's the slant. Almost picked off. Walter Payton. Lenny's getting his hands on things. Let's go to Brent Musburger right now for an NFL report. Let's go quickly to Brent.
All right, the Detroit Lions moving down against the San Diego Chargers. They give us to Billy Sims, and Sims powers in from the 12-yard line, and the Lions are upsetting San Diego 20-14. Back to Tom Brookshire.
Barr will be trying a field goal from the 37, so make it a 47-yarder. That is beyond his range. Let's see if he gets it there. It's going to be short. The ball will come back to the line of scrimmage, and the Bears defense did hold when it had to. A few boos ring out, huh?
Well, the Bears will also have pretty good field position, because when you miss a field goal from out there, it goes back to the line of scrimmage, not at the 20 like it used to.
There's Big Archie, dislocated arm. Don't know if it's the lower part of the elbow. He's been some competitor playing nose in there on defense for San Francisco. Atlanta beating Green Bay, that's a final. But right now, Chicago's got the ball 1st and 10. Payton stumbles and falls on the infield. Gets to perhaps the 33. Williamson making the tackle. Final scores now. New Orleans knocking off the Los Angeles Rams. Houston, Cleveland. Was that in the snowstorm, right? Kansas City handling Tampa Bay 23-10. Of course, Tampa plays Chicago next Sunday. Big win here for Perkins and the New York Giants, 17-7. Right here it's 2nd down and 10. Walter Payton just got back to the line of scrimmage. Watches to the left. Here's Vince Evans back to throw. It's a screen pass, double screen, out to Walter Payton on the right. Get the block from Neal, and is hit from behind by Pete Kugler. And a fumble. The 49ers say it was a fumble.
And so do the officials. Now that was a fake screen left and a screen right, a double screen fake, which was a rather interesting play, and Payton almost got away to get some yards out of it.
Buns recovered, but it was Kugler, the young Penn State rookie, that made it happen. Walter Payton has fumbled twice now, once last year and once last week and once today.
Actually had 2 fumbles last week and 1 today, so that's 3. And he is not a fumbler. If you look back on his record, he has fumbled very seldom over the years.
Big opportunity for San Francisco. Montana with a slot right. Now it's a trips right. Everybody's out. He kept one back in. Montana going for Solomon, finds him at the 10-yard line. And Reuben Henderson knocks Solomon out of about the 9. What a throw.
The Bears decided to put a little pressure on. They came hard. And Montana, with a partial rollout, beat the blitz. There was Bruce Herron picked up. And there is Solomon wide open down the field. Henderson really gets a big shot on him, but not before he gets down to the 5-yard line. So San Francisco in great shape, but give some credit to Montana on that play and the San Francisco backfield for picking up the blitz. Herron came through.
And a real good call against that blitz, Johnny. Very well analyzed. It's 1st and goal. The ball is right on the 5-yard line. Pretty tight formation. Fakes the handoff with a run. Now he's going back to the tight end, sneaking out. Charlie Young scores a touchdown, standing up. The sneak back from the tight end. A short wing-back formation, almost a short yardage looking offense. And a very delicate throw by Montana.
And not too many teams would do this. First down on the 5-yard line. It certainly worked as all the Bear defensive backs are over to the left. And there was Young, came against the grain, and he was wide open. That's a Bill Walsh call if I ever saw one.
I just wonder who's keying the tight end. San Francisco back on top. First the fumble by Payton. And the soft touch of Montana first to Solomon, then to Charlie Young. That bar. Montana holding. It's good. Some ball game. And it's going to swing back and forth. Now the crowd is cheering. They love the offense of Bill Walsh, the general manager and head coach.
Well, that's a first down play on the 5. Most teams, you got to figure a first down situation. You're going to try and punch it over. You got 4 downs to do it. You're not going to take a chance on a pass. And that's where they fooled the Bears on that play. And now let's go to Brent Musburger at NFL Control.
Earlier today, Johnny and Tom, the Buffalo Bills exploded against the Baltimore Colts. Joe Ferguson is having a phenomenal season. He threw 4 touchdown passes, each one to a different receiver. Watch Jerry Butler here. He's hemmed in, was coming inside, made a quick move to the outside, 54 yards, and Buffalo wins easily, 35-3. Back now to Tom Brookshire and Johnny Morris.
Back out west, the 49ers finally got the ball in good position and scored in this 3rd period. There are 5:41 left in the 3rd, and it's a 4-point margin. Keep that in mind. Matt Barr now will kick off with the wind at his back from the 35. And back deep, Williams, of course, is in the middle. Faschnagel will be on his left, and Jeff Fisher, the rookie, will be on his right. Barr is not a deep kicker of the ball. Even with the wind, he might not kick it real deep.
The wind has kind of swirled around and changed directions, it seems, too. And notice the flags over there? So he may not be kicking with the wind as they were in the first half from this direction. They're out going towards the Bay, the Golden Gate, and Bay Meadows.
A local racetrack of some fame. Here comes Barr. The ball stays on. Oh, that's the biggest kick he's ever kicked. Williams has to go out of the end zone. And some photographer got it right in the lens. What a kick by Matt Barr. McEnroe against Borg. Borg 6'4", then loses 6'2". McEnroe came back for a 6'4". Looks like they're going all the way.
Are the microphones hot at that tournament, I wonder?
They've got to be if McEnroe's there. I like the way the big Swede handles himself. He just keeps quiet and plays. 1st and 10 now. Bears with the ball on their own 20 after a tremendous kick by Barr. Pro set. Handoff inside to Walter Payton. He slides off. The linebacker Buns got a hold of him, but Walter slithered on and made some yardage. Looked like he picked up almost 5, maybe more.
But still a hard-nosed play by Danny Buns, 57. Boy, he had to take the line on right in the middle and then jammed it up to prevent a big hole. He filled that hole nicely.
Good-looking talent on a very young San Francisco team. Imagine, with 3 rookie secondary people starting. And Walsh said, I got to go right out and go with the new secondary. We might as well start with the best.
And they were first string right from training camp.
Second down and 5 on the 25. This is Suey. Cuts back inside. Suey with that real good little cut at the line of scrimmage. Gets out almost to the 40 before Hill stops it. He's deceptive in size and also in his maneuverability.
Well, I think he earned a turn to carry the ball. He's been trying to block for Walter Payton all the time. As you see, good block by Dan Neal. See Dan Neal, number 52? He really took the nose man of San Francisco out, and finally, number 22, Dwight Hicks, made the tackle, but it was a good block by Dan Neal.
And a good run by Suey, who picked up that good block. First and 10 now. Ball out on the 40-yard line. Suey and Williams in there. Fake. Evans with a late throw, hits Robin Earl, who makes a tough catch. Earl picks up 8 or 9 yards, and it was a low-thrown ball. Reynolds finally made the tackle.
Play action pass. Number 22, Williams, is blocking and checking out. He just waited for 81. It was the secondary receiver. That was Robin Earl. Down by the knees. Robin made sure of the catch, and it's almost a first down. What is the yardage here? 2nd and 2?
2nd and a couple on the 47. Payton is back in. He was only out 1 play. That's a lot for him. Evans from the pro gives it to Walter Payton. Sorry, made the block on the safety man. Now Walter cuts through and gets inside the 45. Reynolds coming all the way over with Lott making the stop.
Well, there were 2 guys out there, and he got right through them both, just sliced through them like a loaf of bread. Watch him as they string it out. You're going to see Willie Harper, 59, is out there. Payton looks for the open. He couldn't find it at first, and then he says, okay, now I found it. And he went right through Harper and Danny Buns before Hacksaw Reynolds gets in on the tackle, but not before Walter Payton has a first down for Chicago at the 45.
Payton now with 73 yards on 24 carries, and 2:57 still left in the 3rd period. An I formation now. Toss back to Walter Payton. Oh, 2-3 moves in a row inside the 40. Wow. What an athlete.
Hacksaw Reynolds was grasping for straws there. He got through, and he thought he was going to get in on the tackle, and Payton was gone.
I saw a stat on Walter Payton once that was something like he has 200 and some odd 10-yard carries in his career. And I mean, 10-yard runs are hard carries where you get hit hard at the end of them, and he has over 200. There's Hacksaw Reynolds. He looks funny in that uniform, doesn't he?
Yes.
2nd down and 5. Suey hit hard inside the 35. Bears look like they've got something going. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
All right, Tom Brookshire, thank you very much. This will send you back now to Tom Brookshire.
1st and 10, the ball on the 34. Vince Evans moving the Bears. Drop backs quickly to pass. Good protection. Got Walter Payton down around the 30, is it? Terry Totola makes the stop. That was Payton that did a hook up in front of him. Payton can also kick it. If pushed to that point, he can kick it, catch it, punt it, pump it up, and sell tickets.
And there he is coming out of the backfield on a sky pattern. He's right down there. Hopefully he can turn around and dodge somebody is what they hope when he gets this kind of a pass. But Totolo, who used to be with the Bears, made the tackle.
2nd and 5 on the 29. A little over a minute left in the 3rd quarter. The Bears trail by 4. Fake handoff. Now that's well played to Payton. Gets to the 25. Reynolds making the stop. Walter Payton needing 131 to move past Jimmy Taylor into 4th on the all-time rushing list.
He now has 82 yards and 22 carries and is gradually becoming the workhorse that he has been for so many years.
3rd and a little bit, which is a tough yardage to get sometimes. Archie Reese is back in at nose tackle. to Suey. Cutback. Suey's got the first. And also some trouble with 49ers.
Well, Suey should have some big holes because the 49ers have got to key Payton quite a bit, you know. And he's such a great runner that the remaining back, the other back, should have some holes. Let's take a look at Hacksaw Reynolds. He's number 64. He's going to watch the guards. He's going to watch the back action, and he's all ready to go. He plays off Dan Neal. 52 makes the block, and there is Hacksaw Reynolds on the tackle, Matt Suey, but he has the first down.
The teams will change to the infield side of the diamond here at Candlestick Park. The Bears on the move with 1st and 10 on the 23, but they trail. It's San Francisco 21, Chicago 17. Vince Evans talking to Neil Armstrong. This is an offensive must. The ball, 1st and 10 on the 23. Chicago has the football. Kugler's at left defensive end, the rookie from State. Reese is back in at the nose tackle. We don't know how he's gotten back in there. And Ford is the defensive right end. And, of course, Vince Evans has been the quarterback for Chicago. Straight back to pass. He's got Walter Payton swinging. He's going for Robin Earl, the big tight end, 25. Dan Buns and Earl have a wrestling match. Interesting theory by Walsh on his secondary, though. He said they're all from major conferences and tough competition. Michigan, Pittsburgh,
USC,
SC,
all winning traditions. And, you know, I'm surprised that the 49ers have gone straight with this, with very little blitzing today. They're just going in a basic 3-4 all the way.
Keep it simple. They might be wise. 2nd down and 5 on the 18. Walter Payton with the ball. He's hit hard. Doesn't get very much. Maybe a yard or so. Jack Reynolds there.
Now, here's where games are determined. Now you have a situation where it's going to be about, what, 3rd and 3 or 4. The Bears may be into a passing situation if not, but you haven't been blitzing all day. You haven't done anything fancy. A coach goes through his mind, hey, maybe if we just send everybody this time, we can mess them up. Let's see what they do.
All right. They might run a draw with Walter Payton, which would be some kind of a call. It's 3rd down and 4 on the 17. San Francisco up by 4 points.
They're not going to blitz.
It's the rollout left by. He's going for Ricky Watts, has it on the 2-yard line. A great throw by Vince Evans and a great catch by Ricky Watts in traffic.
Okay, let's take a look. Ricky Watts, Eric Wright's got him one-on-one. Tough job. He's covering, he's in there tight, but the pass was right there, and Watts put it away. 1st down, Chicago. Nice pass and a good catch under the circumstances. That's just an excellent play.
Excellent. And a great throw by Evans on the move. Does he have feet for a quarterback?
And you can't blame Eric Wright. You know, he's there.
1st and goal on the 2. Under 13 minutes left. Walter Payton up over the top. Doesn't get there. Dan Buns was the first linebacker that stopped it. And Hacksaw Reynolds was under it. They are hitting Walter as soon as he gets the handoff. He still makes yardage. It's just very difficult down close. There's so many people in such a small area.
Boy, if they ever rolled Vince Evans out, he could stroll across the goal line.
It is 2nd and goal from the 2. Chicago needs a touchdown. Walter Payton, they want to cut back inside. Oh, found the ball, and San Francisco has it. San Francisco has it. A tremendous tackle put on Walter Payton. And he might have been carrying the ball out again away from his body. Craig Buki comes out with it, the linebacker, number 54.
And somebody really laid the wood to Payton as he tried to cut back. He saw the spot, came up the field to go for the touchdown, and it was Danny Buns, 57, who knocked the ball loose. And there's Greg Buki for the recovery. And all of a sudden, Walter Payton is not being able to hang on to the ball. It was knocked loose. San Francisco stops the drive. 1st down at the 2, and down on the field is Walter Payton.
But I was wrong. Walter was not carried that loosely. He just had it jarred out of there. San Francisco holds and gets the ball on the 2.
Here it was, a gaping hole, but you're going to see Buns 57 go low and puts his shoulder right into the ball there and knocks it loose with help from McCall from the other side. And the ball did come out, there's no question. And Danny Buns, with a good play, stops the drive.
All right, first down. Now the 49ers must not only use up the clock, but they've got to get that ball out of danger. That time it was Walt Aisley, the fullback, the rookie from West Virginia. And he got him some breathing room. Walterscheid having to make the tackle, and there's somebody down. Number 80, did I see?
Eason Ransom.
Tight end, who's just coming off of injuries and getting healthy this year, but he is parallel with the ground and on it right now. .11:59 left, and there's Eason Ramson, the tight end. He's limping off. They checked his knee, but he is walking on it. And there's the time in the fourth period, and clicking. The Bears have 3 timeouts, but the 49ers have the ball. 2nd and 4. Near the pitcher's mound. On the 8-yard line. Montana. Who's being chased by Otis Wilson and dropped for a loss. Big defensive play by the #1 draft a year ago for Chicago.
Otis Wilson has plenty of speed. He found a little hole to get through. You're going to see 55. He slipped in behind the blocking, and he has really running back speed, and he just grabbed a hold of Ricky Patton and made sure with the old necktie tackle. Number 55, Otis Wilson.
Jimmy Finks and Jimmy Palmer feel that was one of the great drafts they've made because he is such an athlete. You just have to learn all the things not to do as a linebacker, and he's learned them now.
If you were the coach, what would you call now? 3rd down deep in your own territory? Would you run the ball, or would you take a chance?
Well, Montana throws the ball. The whole team thinks about throwing. I imagine he'll go ahead and throw it. The draw, good call. Here comes Cooper, the big fullback, and he's really dunked. And there's no first down, and the fullback took the shot.
Al Harris and Todd Bell on the tackle.
Now you got the barefoot fella almost in the end zone, on the base path, backing off. He's had one tremendous punt today and a couple that were just average. He's gone 37, 37, 52 for a 42-yard average. Jeff Fisher back to take it. It's a low kick. Everybody getting away from it, particularly Chicago. And the Bears are going to have another chance with over 10 minutes left. Not a very good kick by the young man.
Well, the fans are a little bit upset. Poor Mr. Miller is finding out what the NFL is all about.
He never had a kick blocked when he was at Mississippi, am I right, in his whole career?
No, he has a good record in that respect. As you look at the U.S. Open men's finals, it's still 2 sets to 1 in favor of McEnroe, and he leads the 4th set 3-1, so John McEnroe appears to be in pretty good shape.
1st and 10 for the Bears on the San Francisco 30. Toss back left out of the eye to Walter Payton. Cuts back inside, has the ball wrapped up in both arms, and is hit hard by both Buns and Reynolds, the linebacker.
Boy, this is a tremendous workout for Walter Payton. He has taken a lot of punishment, carrying the ball a lot, and it's, even though we said it was 65 degrees down there, I was down before the game, and it was down on the field, it's 75 or 80. It's warm down there.
And when those linebackers have been breathing on you all game, it might be 110 down there. They have hit Walter a lot. 2nd down, and call it 7, more like 6. The ball's on the 28. 49ers coming up on the corners. Evans back. He sets up, got good protection, throws to Ricky Watts on the 15. Did he catch it or did he trap it?
I don't know. That ball was thrown so hard, I couldn't tell whether it skipped in, but they're ruling it a grab. They put the coverage. Eric Wright was up very tight on him on the coverage. He went for an out and then went across the field. He had to adjust his pattern. Pretty good pass blocking, and Evans just waited for Watts to find a place to catch the ball, and they are ruling a catch. 1st down, Chicago at the 15.
A great throw by Vince Evans, who stayed in there and planted those feet on the real grass. Here we go, 1st down and 10.
The 49ers are just not getting the pass rush this 2nd half.
You're right, John. Here's the sweep by Walter Payton to the right. Sorry, got out front. Payton runs into linebackers and gets to about the 7-yard line. Ford, the big defensive end, making the stop. Walter got out. Looked like Sorry the guard made a good block on the outside for him and allowed him some room.
Payton has carried 27 times for 97 yards.
8:19 on the clock. The Bears do have their 3 timeouts. The 49ers only have 2 left. Right on the pitcher's mound. 2nd and 2 on the 7th. Suey and Payton in a pro set behind. The bootleg doesn't fool. Evans straightens up. Oh, Robin Earl at the 2-yard line couldn't hold on. The ball was a little low. Hicks was there.
I think it came off of his knee as he was running and in stride, and the ball was down low, and he didn't get his hands down to hold the ball. But it was a nice fake of a play action and run by Evans. And here goes Earl after making the contact. The ball is down. Well, he hit his hands and then went off his thigh. Should have had that football, no question about it.
A crucial call for Chicago. 3rd down and 2 on the 7th. They were down here earlier and came away with a fumble and nothing. Great drop back. Payton's out of the backfield. He's going for Walter Payton. It's knocked away by Dwight Hicks. A great defensive play by number 22.
What a super play by Dwight Hicks as he has Payton out of the backfield. But the big thing is the 49ers are giving Evans a lot of time back there, a lot of time to look for his receivers. Hicks just made a super defensive play.
Would you kick a field goal now and go 21-20?
Yes, I would. With 7:51 left.
A lot of time left. Good point. Take the Thomas field goal, which will be held on the 14. It's a 24-yarder. That's Fashionable. Mr. Clutch holding the ball for it. Ball is pulled left. It's no good. The ball will come out to the 20-yard line. San Francisco is held, and Thomas is missed. San Francisco 21, Chicago 17. A 4-point lead is still there. A 4-point lead for San Francisco. They get the ball after the missed field goal by Thomas. 1st and 10 on the 20. Montana now with a strong left formation. A tight formation. Solomon goes in motion. Solomon back to throw, keeping it back in. He's dancing me by Clark, coming under. Clark out over the 35-yard line, almost to the 35. Coons and Campbell knocking out the receiver.
Let's take a look at that missed field goal attempt by Bob Thomas. Notice the ball from Hilgenberg is Bashnagel. It's a little bit low. Bashnagel has trouble getting it down. As we continue here, you'll see it's a little bit late there, and Thomas had to hesitate for a moment, and then he just hooked it all over to his left.
It's a 3-man thing. It's a team effort when a field goal is kicked or missed. 1st and 10 on the 33. A big catch by Clark. Montana handing off to Ricky Patton. Going forward. He was hit hard, but picked up 4 or 5 before Coons again made the stop. Montana's a cool customer.
Yeah, well,
and this is a very needed drive. There's still 7:25 on that clock.
A long time left in this football game, but there's no question about it. The Bears were down there twice for points and came out empty-handed.
Wilson in at left linebacker. Number 55 for Chicago. Montana's gotten his signal, his play. 2nd down 6 on the 37. Can the 49ers run it well enough to hold that ball? The fullback, Cooper, out to almost the 40-yard line. Comes another crucial 3rd down call both ways.
Well, Joe Montana will be looking towards the sidelines. As you see him right now, he's just taking the play in from Guy Benjamin, who got it from Bill Walsh. And let's see what they come up with. 3rd and 4. Will the Bears put an all-out blitz on them, like they like to do in these situations late in the ball game? Or will they play it straight? We'll see.
They're a throwing team. They've got a short yardage offense in appearance, but he's going to throw it. Montana's back. He's got some heat on him. He's throwing the ball. Great catch by Ricky Patton. No, it's called no good. Walterscheid comes up with a football. Finsick makes the play, and the nail almost a great catch by Ricky Patton.
A super play by Gary Fensick. As the ball was coming down, it seemed to take ages to get down. He was trying to throw up and over to Patton, and Fensick timed his hit as the ball got there and jolted the ball loose to a disillusioned right now Ricky Patton.
Here's Miller, the young man who is had to jump for the snap. Barefoot on the sand. He gets it out of there, end over in Fisher at the 24-yard line. Fisher brings it back. 35-yard line with 5:59 left. A lot of time in the football game. The Bears have the football and Walter Payton, and they trail by 4. Everybody wants to be a coach these days, but how would you like to be the coaches on both sides of this field? 5:59 left, a 21-17 San Francisco lead, and Chicago has the ball first and 10 on the 35-yard line. Evans back to throw. He's going deep for Ricky Watts and overthrows him at the 18-yard line, and Eric Wright almost put his arms around Ricky Watts early.
And he certainly did late. After the ball was already hit the ground, he had his arm around his neck, but they went for the bomber, a one-on-one situation. Boy, you like to have that situation late in the ball game. That's how the Bears beat him with James Scott a couple of years ago. Okay, here comes the ball. Let's take a look. Eric Wright puts his hand there. I didn't see the ball there. Couldn't tell.
It was overthrown.
Yeah.
Bill Friel tells me that Evans threw that one 55 yards on a direct line. It's still now second down and 10. The cornerbacks are up for San Francisco. Evans back to throw. Overthrown and intercepted by Dwight Hicks. And the man from Michigan carries it back inside the 50-yard line. Evans tried to throw the ball away, I believe, and threw it into the safety man's hand.
He didn't see Hicks downfield. The 49ers did put kind of a blitz on. Hacksaw Reynolds, 64, comes late. You'll see 64. He takes up Noah Jackson on the line, but the pass rush wasn't all that much. And Evans threw the ball over Robin Earl's head, figuring that he was just getting rid of the ball. And there was Dwight Hicks catching the ball just like a wide receiver does. Nice catch. The 49ers work on that a lot in practice, having those defensive backs catch the football.
I tell you, Hicks out of Michigan, some good, solid football player. The 49ers, with 5:42, must keep the football now and not give it back to Chicago. Can they do it? First down, Hall to the big fullback, Cooper. Gets away from one man. Now it's nailed behind the line of scrimmage. And flags are down. Going to be a crackback or a clip on the outside, perhaps.
They may have called it on a Ricky Patton. We're going to have to go to Brent Musburger in New York at NFL Control.
Johnny, with 56 seconds to go, John Cappelletti will take a handoff from Dan Fouts. Did he get in and score the touchdown against the Lions before he fumbled? The official said yes, he did indeed. Look at that. He broke the plane. The freeze frame proves it. 28-23, less than a minute to go. Back to Johnny and Tom Brookshire.
Referee Bob Frederick getting ready to walk off the penalty against the 49ers. Obviously, the Bears will take it. He will give us a call here on what it was.
Illegal use of the hands. Offense number 32. Repeat, down number 1.
Ricky Patton detected using his hands, trying to make a block. San Francisco comes out on 1st and 20 on their own 40-yard line. The young interceptor sitting it out now. Here's a handoff to the fullback. Makes some yardage, but not nearly enough. That was Cooper getting it out a little bit as Al Harris made the tackle. San Diego leading Detroit now 28-23 in the 4th period. Seattle beating Denver 13-10. That must have been a bitter battle.
That was at home, too, for Seattle. They don't usually win at home.
Patera loves that one.
Okay, we've got a second down and long passing situation. Let's see how the 49ers play it with 5:03 left in the game.
2nd and 17. Mike Wilson, young rookie, is out flanked to the bottom. Montana back to throw. Oh, wow. Clark at the 40. Clark inside the 35. Gary Fensick making the tackle, and somebody missed an assignment. Clark had nobody within 5 yards.
Boy, you hit it on the head. There was a mistake in the defense. As Clark gets out free, and he's so wide open he can't believe it. He's waiting for that ball, still no white jerseys, and finally Dwight Clark gets the first down, and was a 17-yard situation. This is how wide open he was. Obvious mistake in the Bears secondary.
A tremendous 24-yard pass. A great catch and read by Clark, who is a very smart receiver. And it's 1st and 10 on the 34, the Chicago 34. Montana puts his fullback in motion. Here's Ricky Patton on a negative trap off the left side and picks up a lot of yardage. Walter Payton stops him at the 25-yard line. Looked like a false trap. Pulled a guard and just ran in behind it.
Almost like a delayed trap, a draw, like you say, draw trap. It was a good play. And it puts them in great position because they're 2nd and 2 down deep in Bear territory. That mistake in the defensive backfield may cost the Bears this football game.
Good, very well, John. 3:30 on the clock. San Francisco's got the ball, the 4-point lead late. Handoff to Ricky Patton. Gets the first down. Vincent making the tackle.
They beat the blitz on that one, too. The Bears were bringing everybody in the gaps, and he still got through. Patton went back against the grain and got some key yardage for the first down. Good heads-up running by Patton. You have to keep your eyes open on that kind of a play, and he did, because the Bears had white jerseys coming in from every direction.
Montana is 20 of 32 for 297, 2 touchdown passes, and Patton has picked up 51 yards. Neil Armstrong doesn't like it. 1st and 10. A delay by the fullback. Cooper waited long enough for the hole to open up. To the 13-yard line, Gary Campbell making the tackle.
And the 49ers are hustling. Keith Fanhorst, number 71, was all the way downfield blocking on Bruce Herron on that play. When you're talking about tackles, he's getting down the field 10 yards.
And they aren't used to doing this much run blocking like this. That's a great job they're doing. 2:21, you can see the clock. The 49ers have 2 timeouts left. The Bears, of course, have to make up a 4-point deficit somehow. 2nd and 2 on the 13. Cooper. He may have gotten close. Good effort. Hampton had a tackle part of him, and Coombs also helped.
Okay, there you see it, 5-3. McEnroe in the 4th set. He already leads 2 sets to 1. So if McEnroe wins one more game, it's all over. He will have beaten Borg not only in the U.S. Open, but as you know, at Wimbledon. And I think maybe the tide's turning. McEnroe is such a popular guy.
I'm glad I don't have to interview him. I've done some of the great, remarkable interviews anyway without having to interview him. All right, 2-minute warning. As you see, Montana talking to Coach Bill Walsh. Chicago trailing 21-17. Last 2 minutes are going to be a ripper. Little binding. It's 3rd down and 1 on the 12-yard line. Under the 2-minute warning. When this snap takes place, we'll be under 2 minutes.
It's actually 3rd and about a half a yard, so I would imagine that you pretty much have to go with the QB sneak to be safe to get the first down, wouldn't you?
I would imagine that'd be a good idea. Montana's a 200-pounder. He looks small with that group of heavies, but he falls forward, he has it, and there's no fumble possibility, which I'm sure is running through the Bears' mind.
However, they did have that one bad snap.
Yes. Easley is in, the West Virginia rookie at fullback, and Ricky Patton is the halfback, and Montana the QB. Gonna be close. Walt Easley, the rookie, up over the top. Bob Fredericks calling timeout to unpile bodies. Gary Campbell made the tackle.
They may have given it to him on the forward progress. It looks like the ball is over the white mark. It's very close, very close. I think he might have made it.
Interception by Vince Evans as the Bears appeared to be driving. And then, of course, the open Clark, the receiver, on 3rd down and 17, that turned into a first on this drive.
No, he didn't quite make it.
It's 4 inches, and that much. share quarterbacks, male and female. Sit back and watch this one. You're going to see a couple of tons of beef on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
I say you have to go for it in this situation to get the first down, maintain control of the ball, because you are up by 4 points, which the Bears would have to score a touchdown to beat you, and they might not get the chance if you can get this first down. So if I was the coach, I'm not the coach, well, he's already decided he's going to go for it.
Well, Hampton and the Bears are all whooping it up. They've got to get a lot of penetration. They've got to make sure there's no gain at all.
Well, if they don't make it, the mistake was not quarterback sneaking it on third down.
This is the ball game. 4th and less than that.
Oh, my gosh.
Wide sweep. He's wide open. Ricky Patton is going to score a touchdown on short yardage. Ricky Patton, what a game he has had today. Caught a touchdown pass, and now has put the nail in the coffin of the Chicago Bears.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is quite a call. 4th and a couple of inches to go. They go to the outside. The Bears did not expect it in any way, shape, or form. There's Henderson, but he's got number 51, Randy Cross, right there, just wheeling him out of the play, and Patton got around the horn. Touchdown, San Francisco.
I like it because it's really an offense loaded with imagination. Walsh will try anything, and these young guys seem to rise to it and carry it out. Montana is going to be holding, and Matt Barr is going to be kicking. It's good. A great drive, and the last play was really superbly thought out. Here it is, a replay of Ricky Patton's run for the roses.
And you're going to see 23, Waltershot, get caught inside, but you can't blame him, because who would expect him to go to the end on this kind of a play on 4th and 2 inches? Randy Cross got out in front, and the Bears just had to chase from the inside, and Patton's too quick. He got to the outside. Of course, it works. It makes it look like the greatest play ever called, but
left cornerback should never have been caught inside, though. A short yardage, I don't care what it is. Somebody has to set up outside. And that is a rookie's position, and it's not easy. The 49ers, though, had a chance to fold in this ball game. In the third period, they didn't even have the ball. My gosh, they hung in there. They made Walter Payton fumble on the 2. They got a tremendous interception by Hicks, a diving interception to get this last job started, and Montana was cool when he had to be, particularly with that 3rd and 17 throw to Clark across the middle.
those are the kinds of situations that a defense wants to get the offense in, especially at that point of the game, 2nd or 3rd and 17. You want them to have to throw for long yardage. And yet there was a mistake in the defensive backfield. That really hurts a team.
Number 10, Matt Barr, kicking off. The Bears will have a minute and 20-some-odd seconds. It's a low kick, a real soccer kick. Handled by Williams, now picked up. Williams to the 24-yard line and drilled. The Bears now with 11 points to make up in a minute 19. Here's the final scores on the U.S. Open, and McEnroe is the winner again. Two in a row, back-to-back.
And relatively easy.
And Borg has still never won this professional championship in this country. Bears come out. They'll get big splits. They'll be throwing 3 wide receivers. Farnsworth's in, Bashlegel, and Ricky Watts. Payton's out of the backfield. Ricky Watts takes it at the 40. Downed immediately. Eric Wright. The Bears with 3 timeouts and not much time. 103, 102. Evans back. A lot of time. Now he's going to slide it out to slip to Williams in the flat. Williams gets out of bounds at the 46. That stops the clock at 52 seconds. The Bears had the ball driving inside the 2, and that great tackle by Buns jarred it out of Walter Payton's hands.
That's 2 games in a row where they actually had a chance to score within a yard or 2 of the goal line and had a critical fumble. Last week's was controversial. This one was not controversial.
Tonight on CBS, of course, 60 Minutes and the 33rd Annual Emmy Awards with Ed Asner. Some people there. It should be a great show. Evans with a lot of time. Williams, flag is down on the field. Williams still trying to run it. And gets to the 42-yard line to smother. Terry Fitola making the stop. Looked like there might have been a defensive halfback climbed all over the outside receiver on the right flank.
Well, they're going to give the Bears those little passes to the backs out of the backfield now. They've got 3 guys that are 30 yards down the field, spread across the field, because when you got 11-point cushion, you're in pretty good shape. The Bears are going to go home with an 0-2 record. Fortunately for Chicago, Green Bay lost today and Tampa Bay lost. Detroit was losing to San Diego. Did we get a final on that game?
We haven't gotten. They were trailing by 3 points the last time we heard. 50 seconds. Detroit is trailing 28-23 as Capoletti has scored for the Chargers. That's a final score, I'm told.
And Minnesota plays Oakland, I believe, tomorrow night, so that will be no easy one for the Vikings. But that doesn't change or alter anything. The Bears have not gotten off the dime yet. They're going to be 0-2, and traditionally, the last 4 years, they've started out 3-5.
John, it's not that the Bears want for opportunities to win a game, because they are there and they have a chance to win it, and they've got to learn how to win the tough game.
The close ones, and the Bears have not won the close ones over the years. Here's some finals. Atlanta 31-17 over Green Bay. They were down 17-0, won that game. You know the New Orleans score, an upset over Los Angeles. Houston beat Cleveland 9-3. Tampa Bay lost. It was Kansas City 23-10. Always take the AFC. And whoops, no more.
We've got one here that's almost final. 42 seconds left. And the 49ers, with 3 rookies in their secondary, have played extremely well against the tough Chicago Bears.
You look at the Buffalo Bills. 2 big games in a row, 35-3. This was on the road for Buffalo. Chuck Knox got them going. There's a final. San Diego, the Chargers beat Detroit 28-23. So the best record in the NFC Central Division is 1-1. Seattle beat Denver 13-10. Dallas 30-17 over St. Louis in the 4th quarter. Philadelphia at home against New England, leading 13-3.
42 seconds left. The ball is 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line. Evans to Williams coming out of the backfield. Williams trying to get out of bounds. Stop the clock, and does. That'll stop it at about the 37. Tina Turner hanging on. 11 points. A lot can happen in 33 seconds, but 11 points, that's a bunch.
Well, this is a real tonic for Bill Walsh and the 49ers after that disappointing loss last week to Detroit. Now they are 1-1, and with the Rams losing in their division, it gives them some life.
The Bears are a team that has to realize that when they get breaks, they've got to take advantage, that they are supposed to happen for them. I don't think they're quite ready for that yet. Here's Evans going across the middle of Bashnagle. Bashnagle really socks into Dwight Hicks. Bashnagle at the 11-yard line. And final score, Philadelphia with that tremendous defense almost shuts out the New England Patriots at home in Philadelphia.
So the Eagles will be 2-0 in the Eastern Division. Dallas is winning, would be 2-0 in the Eastern Division. Atlanta's 2-0 in the Western Division, with San Francisco going to be 1-1.
The Central Division, as you said, is going to be a jump ball. Don't forget, tonight on CBS, it's 60 Minutes, which everybody has to watch. You know that. The 33rd Annual Emmy Awards comes on later. Shirley MacLaine is the co-host with Ed Asner, and we'll find out all the biggies for the Emmy Awards, and then one day at a time. All on CBS tonight.
Walter Payton is out of the ball game. He has been the last series or so.
Williams and Suey are in there. Williams, a very good pass receiver out of the backfield. Bashnagle and Marjoram go to the slot left, the upper part of your screen. Ricky Watts to the bottom. Evans looking for Watts, couldn't find him. Now he's in trouble. Evans is dropped. 12-yard line. Terry Cotola, the linebacker, making the stop.
"17 seconds left in this football game."
Second timeout is burned by the Bears. That's the first sack, I believe. First sack by the 49ers of Vince Evans.
This was a game where I don't think you could say San Francisco's defense outsmarted Chicago or anything like that. I think they just basically outplayed them. They went with a 3-4 defense, very little fancy stuff. Their cornerbacks had to play a lot of man-for-man coverage, and they played solid football, and you held the Bears to 17 points. That's not too bad for a defense that's been run over the last couple of years. The Jets beat, or I shouldn't say they beat them, they're leading them in the fourth quarter, 23-17.
You know, the Bears gave up 2 fumbles, lost 2 fumbles in the second half, and the interception. And 3 turnovers and a half in the second half, I think, decided this, because Chicago seemed to have the offensive rhythm, and they looked like they were moving the ball extremely well. And you don't cross the double white line, it doesn't count. 17 seconds left. San Francisco 28, Chicago 17 at Candlestick Park. Fitz Evans has gone all the way at quarterback. And he just threw his 33rd pass. Williams catches it and is buried at about the 11 or 12-yard line. Williamson in the stop. That's going to be it. The 49ers have won their home opener by 11 points over the Chicago Bears.
That last play did not count. The gun went off before the snap of the ball. The officials are saying no play. So the final score remains 28-17, the 49ers over the Bears.
A good football team coached by Bill Walsh, who's also the general manager and has a contract through 1985. The Bears lose a tough one. This is Tom Brookshire for Johnny Morris saying so long from Candlestick Park. Once again, the final score, San Francisco 28, Chicago 17. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.